again.
Live stream offline.
Yeah. It shouldn't be soon, though.
Wait a minute, it's turning.
That means we're hot, yeah?
It's delayed, so I'm gonna have to shut it off, but yeah.
That means we're hot, yeah?
Okay, so I am coming through. All right, good.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to turn mine off. Mine's way delayed. It would mess me up.
Okay, so I'm coming.
Yeah. If I'm still on YouTube on your end, just turn the volume off.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, just turn the volume off on your. Okay, so there we go. Now we are live.
You still there?
I am still here. Can you hear me?
No, it just got like super quiet, and I'm like, oh shit.
Oh yeah. Play a little bit of music there to start off with some lyrics there in it. So that looks fine there to me. So now I'm gonna see if it's better to do it this way right here. Just to make sure that and what's up, YouTubers? I'm gonna try to keep it open on my phone here so that I can watch the chat, because I know I got some folks that'll be watching the chat. But I gotta turn the volume all the way down. All right. So now I'll have that up so that we have a monitor.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. How's that abrupt ending to that song there? You like that? That was cool, wasn't it? All right. So, Brother Zach Williams, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm hanging in there, man. Little shift of work, and then home for a cold one, you know.
I do know, man. I used to live my days waiting to get off work, crawling up under houses to come home to a Yingling Black and Tan was the beer back then.
Yes, sir.
What's up, Rick? How's it going? Let me actually slide this. Let me see how I can do this. There's no way I can get that up there, huh? Maybe not. Hold on just a second, guys. We might have to cut all of this stuff out at the beginning before we get into the content and such. There we go. I'll leave it like that. That way I have chat up in the corner there. How you like that? Look at that. I done figured out how to do it. Yeah, and there is a little bit of a delay, Zach, so that these things that Ron White dicking around Tiger Woods, how you like that for a video on YouTube? That looks funny. I want to watch that later. All right, I'm going to go hot on audio here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, listening there in the audio world, we are here with Brother Zach Williams on the FaceTime.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody. We're and for those of you that could not see this beautiful hat, tip of the hat that you guys got in the audio world, what kind of hat is that? What do they call that?
Well, a flat cap, I guess.
Like a newsy hat? That's pretty cool, man.
Well, the newsy hats, I think, were a little more puffy on the top.
Yeah, I guess. I think you're right.
I think a lot of people call these scally caps.
Ah, yeah, the scally cap. Yes, scally cap. That sounds like an insult in the
That's
20s.
Right.
Yeah, don't hang out with that boy. He's just a scally cap.
He's a scally cap.
So, how's the world treating you these days, Brother Zachary?
Oh, not too bad, actually. I'm kind of keeping a little busy, but well, I took on a new position at work, and then somehow my jingles have started picking up a little bit.
Dude, that sounds like something that you hear in a porn.
Right.
My jingles are picking up pretty good, man. I mean, no, but seriously, that's really awesome, man. So I heard the surf water thing, man. You did a good job. I'm sorry, I'm still thinking about how funny that sounds. Like my jangles are picking up. But that's really a cool thing, and you don't think about that a lot, especially from a musician standpoint. That jingles is an option. You know, like that's a really cool route to take.
Yeah, it was kind of funny because I mean the way it all started because Adam asked me to write some hold music because I was riding with him and he called Surfwater because he needed whoever works the desk to grab something for him and then to meet him outside with it. And
Meet
they
me
were like,
outside.
"Let me put you on hold." Huh?
No, I'm just
Oh.
meet me outside.
Yeah. So, but and they were like, "Let me put you on hold while I find it." And then there was some crappy music, whatever, playing, and we ended up making it there before he got off of hold. Like, so he got out of the truck and was like, "Write me some hold music," and ran into the store, and I was just like, I could do something like that. It'd be fun, whatever. And then I did it, and then somebody posted. I posted it or whatever on Facebook, and somebody commented underneath. They were like, "Man, I know a lot of people that need voiceover work. You should do this for a living." And as soon as he said it, I was like, I would have never thought of that at all.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's pretty awesome, though.
Yeah.
Just out of all the best things are born out of necessity. Rick Thomas, that's a good way to make donuts, he says, with jingles.
That's right. Absolutely.
I'm telling you what, man. What do you think donut holes come from? So that's pretty awesome, man. Like I started messing around with that a little bit, just not necessarily jingles, but just doing like 90-second clips of music and 30-second clips of music for like for Tyler Brown for the fishing show.
Oh yeah.
And just making little stuff like that is so much fun, and it's less demanding too. Like you feel like the hard part in, I guess, writing is finding out what to write about. So that when they give you all the information, that takes the hard part away. So all you have to do is
exactly, and that's kind of been like a thing. Like since I've been up here working for Synchrony for however long now. Like I never, if I start writing a song, 9 times out of 10 is right before I have to go to bed or right before I have to go to work, and then by the time I get a chance to come back to it, I've lost the motivation.
I understand that 100%.
Yeah. So, but when it comes to jingles, though. It's you know what I mean? At the absolute most, I'm writing something that's 2 minutes long. And all I have to do is come up with a hook, and then I just have to speak and say, like, come down and see us for blah, 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 And so I'm like, I just wrote a song, in a sense. It's not a full, rock song or whatever, but it's fun, I'm still getting to write and record. And I'm making some little extra money on the side,
Both of those are very, very large pros.
Absolutely, you know what I mean. And I mean, look at 2.5 Men. Look at Charlie Sheen. He had it going on.
Didn't he ever? Goodness. Oh, Charlie Sheen. Listen, I watched this thing on Netflix called The 2000s. Have you watched any of those documentaries yet? Like the decades, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and then 2000s.
I haven't seen that yet. I think I saw it when the 60s were on. I wanted to watch it, but I never got around to it.
Dude, I started watching I'm watching them backwards. I started watching the 2000s, and now I'm watching the 90s. So I'm just going to go backwards with them. But, dude, one of the things that I saw on that show was, what were we just talking about that led me to think of this? Some music or some show or something.
Jingles.
No, I knew we were talking about jingles. Shit. I totally lost my point of going into the 2000s because I was thinking about those shows. They're really good, by the way. You should watch them.
Oh, I said Charlie Sheen and 2.5 Men.
Charlie Sheen on 2.5 Men. They made the point of bringing up Charlie Sheen on 2.5 Men when one of the guys who was in 2.5 Men was part of the documentary and was like, yeah, I was, they prompted me and asked me about being in this show, and then I was like, oh yeah, well I had a reputation for the show killer, and then I got hooked up with Charlie Sheen, and everything in my life changed. And then he laughed and was like, well, not as much as his life. The guy that plays Alan in 2.5 Men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God! Wait a minute, Stucky. What the hell's his name?
I can't remember.
Oh my God. It'll come to me at the end of this episode when we're not talking about this anymore.
yeah. That'll be fine. Fucking. But yeah, man, the jingles are a really cool thing that can, and I guess I think of it being like the layman would think, oh, it only has to be like pretty short, so that takes a lot less time to do. And like, I don't know if a jingle would take any less time to record than an actual full-length song.
Not at all. I mean, really, there's a couple aspects about jingles that I really love. First off, like you said, it doesn't really take any less because in this sense, now if you're recording a song for yourself, you can just add stuff and add stuff and add stuff, so, to make it more fun or make it more whatever you want. But for this, for like a jingle, you got to make it sound good because this is an advertisement for somebody.
Yeah,
they're paying you to help them make money, so you want to make sure that it's going to sound good. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And you got to make sure that the parts that you come up with, they fit. But it's not. You can't overdo it either.
Yeah. Like in writing your own music, you're writing for yourself, and in doing that, you're writing for someone else.
Yeah, and I mean, and a lot of times too, with like if you're writing your own song, you're thinking about what kind of talent can you put into it, what kind of work can you put here and there. With a jingle, you just got to be straight and to the point. I mean, and make it good, obviously, but you have to or try to make it good, but you also have to make sure that. Because if you put way too much in there, it's not going to be catchy. Nobody's going to remember it. That J.G. Wentworth song, man, you know what I mean? They didn't put nothing into that. But if you hear that commercial once, you're going to be thinking J.G. Wentworth all day.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
877 cash now, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like, or go to the
my brain.
for a great online rate or something.
Oh no!
Go to the general and save some time.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the general. See, like that was genius. But I mean, there's nothing. You don't have to put like arpeggios or something like that in there. You know, exactly. Just make something catchy and hooky.
Exactly right. You're selling a product. You got to put in more work. Rick says in the chat, 100%. And I feel like too that you feel like you can do whatever you want to do in your own music because it's your own music. Like I'm writing this shit. I'm the captain now. This is like I'm the one doing this thing. Damn it! So I felt like too. I did everything, and I even noticed doing this stuff for Tyler, and it was just like I would record something. He didn't really ask for as much as I sent him. I was just like stoked to do it, and just kept sending him stuff. And then when you realize that, like, that was the first time when I sent stuff, and he was like, hey, man, let's try it like this, try it like that. And I'm like, but I already tried it the way I think was right. And then I realized, like, this is the difference in doing something for somebody and doing something for yourself, because you get everything squared away and make it perfect for you, but might not be perfect for them.
But even on top of that, though, and like at the first time that came up to me when someone was like, hey, why don't we try it this way instead? At first, I was like, like you said, I was like, I thought it was really good the way it was.
Like, I'm the musician, right? You trust me, right?
Yeah. But then I went back and I'm like, you know what? I mean, it's a challenge. This is something I haven't done before.
That's right.
So therefore, like, like recently I did one for this place. I did a jingle for this place called Fast Home Sales. And it was literally like, it was one of those like J.G. Wentworth things. They just needed a singing hook, and I'd never done anything like that before. And the guy sent me a couple of samples. He's like, we're going for a style like this, blah, 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 blah. And and when I went into it, I was like instantly, my first thought, I was like, oh my God, I I write rock songs. I don't know, or I write catchy stuff like
Yeah.
that, But then when I sat down for a minute, I like went and sat in a room for a minute, like sat by myself for probably, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes trying to do different stuff. And then all of a sudden it came to me. I'm like, Beach Boys. I need to just do a big harmony thing
Yeah.
here, and just, I need something very simple, and just make it, I don't need a big production. I don't need 15 guitars in there, a big drum beat or something, I just need something simple.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and that was a lot of fun. The one I'm working on right now, I got this one that I'm doing. This guy asked for hold music. This was interesting.
Hold music.
So, so as you're thinking hold music, and that's, dude, as soon as he said it, I was like, okay, time to come up with some more, like, little jazzy stuff or some elevator music or something.
Yeah.
This guy threw me, like, 2 or 3 samples of, like, this hard, bluesy stuff. And it's hold music for a car repair shop.
Oh, yeah, he wants to, I get you.
So, and he sent me a couple of samples. Dude, he sent me this one sample of, like, this Jeep commercial, dude, and it was, like, had the boom, 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 it was hard and that, like, bluesy stuff. And I'm like, I'm not that much of a bluesy guy. I don't know what to do. But he was like, and I didn't say that to him.
Yeah.
He's like, you can just take that music and put your voice on it if you want to. And I'm like, I'd rather write something. But, dude, it took me. I spent a whole night trying to work on something, and I couldn't figure it out. And then last night I sat down with GarageBand, and it hit me. And I came up with this thing. I sent it to him last night, and he messaged me this morning. He's like, I love it. I'm like, wow.
That's good. Now, are you doing your own drum beats, or are you just playing to a drum track? Because I do a lot of my stuff to a drum track on GarageBand.
Well, it's a drum track, but I'm creating it. I mean, I create every hit on there.
Like you're making you're individually doing like bass here, bass here, bass here, hi hat, blah blah blah, all the way through, and then crash cymbal, ride cymbal.
I'll create a beat in a 4-measure spot, and then I copy.
Yeah.
But I make the whole thing, and if it's the same beat for 8 measures, and then I need to go to a ride, I can just, a lot of times I take the hi hat and then just move
it to a ride.
Right, for that section.
So you can copy. This is a GarageBand question for me as a nerd. Could you copy your hi-hat's measures and literally just paste those exact measures in a ride cymbal track and it would translate, or would you have to go in and manually drag a ride track to that?
Well, here's the beauty of it. Once you open up that, like, the editing thing, all you gotta do is just grab the whole set, and then just drag it up.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just grab those four hi-hat things and turn them into 4.
Just drag them up. Yeah, that's what I do.
Okay, I didn't realize that was a thing. So you can just drag that same tap into a ride cymbal, and instead of it being a hi-hat, it's a ride cymbal. Those the same 4 notes.
Yep.
And instead of having to manually place them there, you just drag them up.
Yep.
That's really cool. I didn't realize that was a thing.
Now, a lot of things of what I do, like because I've recorded a lot of punk rock tunes or whatever with it too. So, a lot of times what will happen is, like, when I go, like, I'll have the hi-hats on, like, the 1 and 4 or whatever. But then when I go to the ride, I want the ride to be like the 16ths or the 8ths or whatever.
Yes.
So I want to add it in. So I can drag those up and then copy that.
And stagger them.
And go 1 measure over and paste it, and then it all fills it in.
Stagger them. Yeah, that's awesome.
So, but now with that, though, you have to go in and kind of...
that takes a long time.
Well, not... I've been doing it so long now, it doesn't take as long.
Yeah, when you first start to do that would take forever, yeah.
Yeah. But the hardest part at that point is that you have to go in and mess with the velocity of how hard the hits are.
Yeah.
And that was something that I didn't realize for the longest time. I thought my drums sounded like crap because all of my hi-hats were like... But I had to realize when you're sitting playing drums, you're like... You're not hitting them at 115% every time. So...
Now, how do you do that? Is that just a volume thing? You pull them way back volume wise, or is that like is there a setting on intensity?
There's a setting. It's called. It says velocity. And you can
Okay.
You can set it, and literally you just drag it up and down, and you can hit it at 100%. I think the highest you can go, you can hit it at like 120%, and then you can go anywhere down from there. And it's pretty cool, man.
I'm learning here.
Obviously, same thing with any hit for any drum on there. So I mean,
yeah.
If you want to do a build up, you do like a, you can have it
from
hit it top and then drag it up.
Now, does that work like the volume slider works, or do you have to go in for measure to measure and control that?
It's each
hit, not measure to measure, but hit to hit.
You have to go to each hit.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I had to ask that. I know that's not interesting to a lot of people other than me, but I had to know that.
Well, no, but I mean, at the same time, though, and like I said, though, like I've been doing this now since 2015.
Yeah.
So now I go in there and I'm just like, just move stuff in the sack quick, and then I copy and paste whatever I need from there. But
GarageBand is
phenomenal.
So damn good. It's the best thing I've ever used to work with.
Absolutely, hands down. And I mean, especially with the different, like I have like a Les Paul, I have an Ibanez, I have a Squier Strat, and then a Les Paul. Like with the different sound, the different guitar sounds that I have, and the different amp emulators they have.
Those amp emulators are badass.
Yeah.
I've got my Strat's a Squier Strat. I play. That's my only electric guitar actually. And
is that the tie-dye one?
No, man. You remember? Dude, I don't have that thing anymore, man.
I thought I remembered you getting rid of it, but
yeah, I was a fool. I needed dollars, and I didn't get near as much as I should have gotten out of it, man.
Do you know where it is now?
No, I do not.
Aww.
Oh, that's right, dude. That thing was a fucking streamlined butterfly.
That thing was beautiful, man, and that sound.
She was bad, dude. You remember when I used to lay that thing down in my lap and play it with a lighter? You remember that?
Oh yeah, dude. God, man, that thing was
God, I miss that thing. But yeah, we're not here to cry about spilt Strats.
I was gonna say a moment of silence for the.
A moment of silence for the Strat. I tell you what, I see you with your little vapor machine right there. Let me grab mine. Hold on, BRB.
Mm-hmm.
Nailed it. So, I don't know if if you caught the tail of the chair. So there was this chair that I ordered, and it was a really sweet chair. It was like one of those gamer chairs, like a computer chair.
Oh yeah.
And it was really sweet. And I got hair caught on something. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong video. that was delayed. It was caught. It's not anymore. But yeah, I ordered this chair, and it was a paid sponsorship on Instagram. And it said 300 or 300, like 80% off this chair. So I got this chair 80% off, and I was like, dude, that's really awesome. So it was like this few $100 chair that I could get for like $60. So I was like, shit, yeah, I'll take that. So I ordered the chair right then, and it's probably stupid to go and order something in the middle of the wintertime when I'm a musician. Yeah. But I ordered this chair, and I was like, dude, this thing's awesome. I'm going to get like a $300 chair for like $60. Like, this is great. So I wait. I get an email. It says, we got your order confirmation. Here's your whatever, your confirmation number and all this bullshit. And I'm like, sweet. And it says, because of the order, it might take up to 10 business days to get your tracking number. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm fine with that. Save me some money. So it's probably coming from overseas. I get it. And so 10 days goes by, no email. So I immediately send them an email. And I wait another, like, say a week or so, and I'm like, man, this is really weird. And I was seeing that ad on Instagram like every day for like a month before I finally clicked it.
Yeah.
So I was like, I hadn't seen that ad in a while. So I go to look up this thing and go to search the company that sent it to me.
Uh-huh.
And the website doesn't exist. Like, the website doesn't exist. And I go to Reddit and I type in on Reddit this company, and I just get fucking pages of information about this company is a scam. Don't give them your credit card information. And I was like, fuck. So ended up going to the bank and getting them to canceling or refunding me the dollars and canceling that. Like, I told them all what happened and everything. So I ordered another chair. So I paid twice as much as I would have paid on the other chair in the middle of the winter, like an idiot. Like, I have dollars to just spend like that. But I had already gotten my hopes up on getting a chair, and plus I want something comfortable for my guests to sit in when they're here instead of the rocking chair.
Oh yeah.
So,
nah, dude, and I don't know if it's a musician thing, but I'm the same way. Like, when you get your heart set on something, it's on. Like,
we gotta have it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. You get your heart set on something, whether it's and for me, it's food, man. Like, if I get my heart set on something, like,
Yep.
like my mouth set on, like, I'm gonna have Japanese food today. Like, nothing else will quench that thirst, or nothing else will work.
No, you're absolutely. And you know what's funny, man? You know what? That happens with me on a regular basis. But what's even funnier about it is I'm really not that much of a fast food guy anymore.
Yeah.
But, dude, if I get in the mood for a double cheeseburger from Burger King, I don't care how far I have to drive.
That flame grilled taste.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And it's always funny, but it always has to do with like fast food or something like that. I mean, if it's want some Taco Bell, like, you know what I mean. It doesn't matter. Like, I have food here. I have homemade salsa here. You know, I got all kinds of food. Stuff that I could make better than Taco Bell, but I'm going for a Mexi Melt right now. I don't care what anybody has to say.
Taco Bell's the one that lured me back into fast food. Like,
you can't really get away from Taco Bell.
I went without fast food for a really long time, man. Like, I went I'm pretty sure it was a year, maybe more than a year without fast food. Like, I would go to Walmart and get the same things that I wanted at a fast food joint and just force myself to make it here at home. But then that became just frozen pizzas and frozen cheeseburgers, and I would just throw in the microwave and throw in the oven and all that good shit. Don't mess with a man's chair order, Rick. Tell him. What's up, Divin? How you doing? We got some people jumping in the chat over here. You're not late, Divin. You're just on time. Arrive right when you mean to. That's totally fine. Yeah, Zach. I mentioned this in the last episode too, that I haven't so much as for folks in audio that might not have heard. Did you understand all of those words I just threw together? That was cool, right?
I did. I heard it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, Jamie Deluxe, and you know Jamie well.
Oh yeah.
Jamie hooked me up with a few of his listeners and watchers to come in and help out in the chats and be active and pretty much just hang out with me. So nice. Jamie's sharing some of his.
Now, does Jamie have a podcast?
Jamie talks Jamie talks a lot on his YouTube channel. So he does a lot of like blog work and such. So yeah, Jamie it's technically a podcast, but he's going to come in here once a month and do sort of a long form thing with me once a month.
Nice.
But I appreciate what you guys are saying. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate the compliments, folks. I'm actually going to slide you closer over here, Brother Zach. I know you don't. I'm talking to you like you can see what I'm doing here. But
Thanks, man.
That's great.
That's uncomfortable over here. Could you slide me a little to the left?
No, that's actually really cool. I'm scooting you closer in over here to my camera, my camera screen, so I can see the chat a little better. Anyway,
yeah, I'm jealous of his setup too, guys. Although I don't have a podcast, but even still, I'd like to have a room that looks as professional as his.
No, dude, listen. Everybody says this, and I'm going to put it all to rest right here. The last episode that I recorded was Scott Mann, when you guys were still in the chat. I know Diving was in there. I'm not sure about Rick, but the setup that I used was the Mevo camera, which me and you have talked about, Zach. The Mevo camera, which is really awesome, and it takes several different camera views from one big frame and like pretty much flips between them without me having to tell it to do so. That's really awesome. And that I have the Cornbread to thank. that I have the band to thank, because the band bought that. Nice. And technically I just get the lion's share of it because I need it the most. But yes, but I said this in the last podcast. The audio from that was literally just from my iPhone. Like, the audio that we recorded from the last podcast was just from an iPhone. So if you want to do a podcast and you have a phone, that's all you need. That's all Jamie uses. Jamie uses 2 iPhones. He uses one to record and one to chat. Like, wow. That's all he uses. I think he has a professional mic set up now, but and shit, Jamie's got almost 50,000 followers on YouTube. All with the phone.
How are you running the sound, though? I mean, or is it your microphone's just picking up the sound from your phone?
I've got my microphone run into the board. Now, this is all GoFundMe stuff. By the way, if any of you guys feel it laid on your heart to help us out with the GoFundMe at all, I'll drop a link for that in the chat. But yeah, all of this is GoFundMe stuff. So I dropped the mic into the board, and the board is USB into this. Now, when I go YouTube, I use this little thing here. I can't show. Actually, I can unplug and show it to you. Use this little thing called an iRig.
iRig.
The iRig. This thing it allows me to plug the into just a headphone jack. It allows me to plug my XLRs into the quarter inch. So when I'm running my Mevo, it would usually just be using the iPhone as a pickup. So instead of using the iPhone as a pickup, I can just plug this in, and now I've got my mixer as just regular sound.
Nice.
So that's really cool. But like I said, all of this is GoFundMe money. Matter of fact, the only thing that is not GoFundMe money is this computer that I'm on right now. And I'm hoping that it will be GoFundMe money by the time that it's over with and paid for. But,
he'll pay back for it.
Yeah, right. You remember that credit conversation we had a while ago?
Oh, yeah.
How you like this new computer?
Hey, I work for a credit card company, dude. I know all about it.
Yeah, man, right? Okay, here it is. Let's see. Share. Copy link. Link copied to clipboard. I'm reading you all these things so that you know that I'm telling you the truth about what I'm doing.
Just so you know for a fact it's actually happening,
This is real life. Not just fantasy, caught in a landslide, no escape from reality.
Dude, I'm going to get you to do some voicing for some of my jingles once I start making a little more money.
Dude, I'll do some voices for you. You know, did I tell you that's what my dream job was when I wanted to do voices for kindergarten? Voices for kindergartens. I wanted to do voices for cartoons.
Oh yeah, dude.
I wanted to do cartoon voiceovers. That's what I wanted to do. Yes, I just dropped the GoFundMe link. If you guys feel it laid on your heart at all, please, anything at all will help. All of this is going towards the podcast equipment, like this PV board that I've bought, these mics. I bought a couple of these headphones, but they were cheap enough, and I needed some for my record player anyway. Because there ain't nothing like listening to records on fucking.
You right about that.
Oh, Diving, you're too sweet. You're too sweet. I hung out with these folks the other night, Zach, for like 3 hours, just playing original music, just jamming.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fun. And actually, that leads me to this next thing that I remember just now that I wanted to talk to you about. How have your Tuesday night jams been going? You've been doing it on Tuesdays, correct?
Well, this last Tuesday was my first Tuesday. I've been doing them on Thursdays before then, but it's funny, man. It started out, it was kind of low key at first, but it seems to be kind of building. I look up and I see like sometimes now there's like 13 people watching at one time.
That's a big deal, man. That's awesome.
And I've even had people like send me videos or screenshots of them, like they'll have it like posted up on their TV or something, and I'm like, that's weird, but that's cool.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's one thing that I remember the first time that my buddy Buzz, Facebook knows him as Ella Chai, but my buddy Buzz, I used to work with Starbucks, right by your house in North Myrtle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, me and Buzz, he was the first one that sent me a picture of myself on like a big screen TV. And he was like, we're listening to you talk out here in the desert, buddy. Hope everything's all well, J Baba. And I'm like, dude, we've arrived.
Yeah.
We made it. Isn't it so cool that we can use this as a means of communication with the entire fucking world? Like that this is the only thing that we need to connect with the entire world.
Well, see, I think what's even weirder about it to me, I think it's awesome, but I think what's even weirder about it to me is like we were watching Back to the Future Part 2 back in 1989, and we were looking at like these ideas like, oh my god, the future. And now here we are, we're like, right. I'm gonna FaceTime somebody. It's fine.
Yeah. Dude, the future is here, man. Like we are living in this. This is happening.
Is.
The future is here.
The TVs, like, I mean, Back to the Future predicted a lot of stuff, man. I mean, hell, look, I saw this video the other day for I saw a commercial for a self-driving car. And, I mean, I know that, like, we've had those, whatever, some of them are failing and whatever. But, dude, this car design, I'm like, this isn't a real commercial. That car was in Back to the Future, too. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's not a real car. But I looked it up, and I'm like, I guess this is real. Like,
yeah, dude, there was there's new Teslas that have come out recently. There was a video of this guy just fucking passed out. Like, I mean, he's in traffic, like like drooling, sleeping, passed out in the car, just like, and the car is just like, and he's just fucking passed out.
Diving, you're right. Gotta love modern technology. I mean, I would be nervous to be in a car like that. I probably still couldn't pass out like that in a car. Like, I'd be terrified that somebody would be paying attention to wreck into me or something. But it's cool though that stuff can have like what? Like, that's not even a remote control car. You're just like, no one's controlling it. You're just like, by the way, take me home, and the car is like,
It's an alien. It's an alien that we live with and that we that we interact with. Absolutely. I don't know about managing people just starting out as singers. I don't have that kind of patience. I'm not a very patient person when it comes to things that are that are simple to me, but other folks may have difficulty with. I don't see how they have difficulty with something that is simple.
You know what I think you'd be good at though, and same thing for like something I've always wanted to do. I think you'd be a good producer.
Yeah,
like what fits and stuff like that. And I mean, I'm not gonna say that I feel like I know what fits, but I know that I've recorded a couple other bands before, and like they're doing stuff, and it's like be kind of cool if you don't change anything, but maybe if you kind of you put a fill in here, or maybe instead of jam and just strum the chord and let it ring here for just whatever, and but you have that ear too, though. I think that'd be something you'd be good at.
I don't think I'd be a bad producer. I do feel like though that my personality might rub people the wrong way as far as like how I'm trying to tell you what I think sounds the best and not what I think you should do or what I would do, or
Yeah, well, I mean, one thing, and one of the times I was in the studio, when I was in the studio with One Louder, we've like paid ridiculous amount of money to record an EP. They did. I was the bass player.
Yeah.
I was 17, had no money, but whatever. We had like, I wasn't a major producer, but dude, he almost looked exactly like you. And he walked in the door. I'm telling you, he looked almost exactly like you, dude. And he walked in the door and he was listening. He's like, "Man, you guys are really good." And then he was like, "Your bass part." He's like, "What you need to do?" He's like, "It'd be really cool if you did blah 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 blah." And he told me, and I was like, first thought, I took offense. I was like, "Wait a minute, I think my bass part's pretty good here." And then for a second, I was like,
"Is he right?"
That's a good idea. I should give that a shot. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
I don't know. It's like he walked in the door and he just he had this look about him, and the way he said it, he wasn't a dick, but he came across like confident. Not what's the word I'm looking for? Not arrogant, but just confident.
Yeah.
He came in and was like, "You should try this, you should do this," or whatever. And I was just like, "No," and then I'm like, "Wait a minute, I should give it a shot."
Absolutely, everything's worth a shot.
But the look that he had and like his confidence about him, like it made me second guess it.
Yeah, I really appreciate that, Rick. Thanks a lot, buddy. Rick had to run. He dropped something on the GoFundMe. I really appreciate that, man. Oh. You'll get a producer credit on IMDb. I forgot to tell you that. You get a producer credit on IMDb for. By the way, have you checked out your IMDb page?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh no, I haven't. No, because you sent it to me, and I was walking back into work, and I forgot all about it.
You can just search yourself on IMDb because you're on there, and I've got you credited on every episode you've been on.
That's insane.
But yeah. Anyway, yes. Back to what you were saying. I didn't mean to hijack, but I just saw that Brother Rick drop something on the GoFundMe, so I wanted to give him a
thanks, Rick.
Appreciate you on that. But yeah. So it got like the 20 something degrees last night here. Did you know that?
Really? Did everybody freak out?
Yeah, because that never happens here, right? And
it's bad enough up here in Ohio when it gets like that. I can't imagine what Myrtle Beach is like.
Well, it was. I don't know. I didn't even go to trivia tonight, and I don't miss trivia.
Yeah.
But I didn't even go to trivia tonight, man. I wasn't just feeling like leaving the house because last night it got down to the 20s. And anytime it does that, my sinuses get fucked up. Yeah. Anytime the weather changes drastically, and it was in the 70s, and it's going to be in the 70s this weekend. How you like that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's going to be in the 70s this weekend, man. Where are you living, Diving? Zach here's in Ohio. The OH.
The OH.
But you said you're coming back south here pretty soon.
We come down every year. My daughter's birthday is the 10th of June.
Yeah.
So we usually try to make it roughly, sometime it's either, if we can get it and it's on the 10th, then great. If not, then we try to, sometime close to June 10th.
Oh, New Jersey. It's cold up there, huh?
Yeah, okay, so he probably gets, Diamond probably gets usually, what comes, like, from us. Usually goes that way towards Jersey from what I can see. And yeah, Ohio sucks for weather. Man, it's funny. Man, like, dude, before it led up to the 20-degree weather, did you manage to stop in Walmart or a grocery store and see what it looked like?
No, but there's never any time that happens. There's never any milk. There's never any bread. There's never any bottled water.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. It's funny here, man, because you would think like that's normal here. That kind of weather's normal here. You know, we get a weather report, during the wintertime, it says 5 inches of snow, whatever, and we don't get 5 inches all the time, but you know what I mean, just in general. But dude, as soon as it happens, walk into Walmart. I dare you to think that you're gonna get something from Walmart.
Oh yeah, that's not happening.
The entire grocery section, like you go into the meats and it's empty. What was even funnier though is this last big snow that we had. I think we got about 4 or 5 inches, something like that. And I went into Walmart. Literally, I was just going in there to go grab some beer. And not even because I was like stocking up or anything. I was just going to go get some beer, Normally, man, I walked in there and most of the shelves were pretty stacked. You know what I mean? They were some were looking a little shifty, but man, I got to the beer section and that thing was empty. Everything but what, dude? I mean, I could have picked up a bunch of wine coolers if I'd have wanted to, dude, but the beer was gone.
Like no fuzzy navels is needed.
Yeah, I'm like, man, it was just funny to me. Like I said, like the meat section, it was a little cleared out. The bread was a little cleared out, but we go back to the beer and it was just done. I'm like,
that's hilarious. Well, you know what? I don't know, and I don't drink anymore, but it's honestly, what better way to brave any kind of weather or cold or anything like that?
Well, I mean, I guess if you're going to be stuck in the house with your family all day long, for a few days, and you got kids running around or something, they can't go outside and play because it's 17 degrees outside.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? I guess you probably want to catch a little buzz for that.
Yeah, right. I couldn't imagine living up in Divin's neck of the woods, especially up by the ocean. See, I'm right on the ocean here. So anytime it gets cold, it's always a little cooler here.
That's right, because that breeze coming off the water. Yeah,
exactly. But
dude, I went to the first time I ever came up here. We went to Cleveland, and this was in the winter of like 2013, 2014.
Yeah.
And apparently it was the worst winter they'd had here since like 78.
Damn.
And
what did you do?
Went to Cleveland to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And dude, the lake was frozen.
Damn, really?
We went out skiing ice skating on the lake, dude. And I'm telling you, that is by far the coldest I have ever been in my life. I tried to like duck around the corner to get out of the wind because I thought that might help. It didn't do nothing.
Yeah, there's no way to get away from that. See, here's the thing. In my stepdad used to always say he preferred the summer. He preferred sweat than shiver because you can always take clothes off, but you can't never put enough on when it gets cold. He would say. He said you can always take enough clothes off to get cold, but you can't never put enough on to get warm when it's cold.
That's funny. People here say the exact opposite. They're like, people here are like, you can only get so naked, but you're still gonna sweat it out. They're like, but you can layer up as much as you want to, and whatever. I'm like, man, if it's
but then you can't
12
move
degrees outside, man. I don't care how many layers I'm wearing.
Right? Then you can't move.
Yeah, you're like the kid in the Christmas story,
Yeah.
Mom.
I'm gonna end up pulling dreads out of my hair.
I'd take Myrtle Beach back in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Here is different. Here is not for everybody.
You're right.
There's not And I learned that very early on. One of my roommates told me, he said, there's a lot of people that you'll see come and go, and it's not anything to do with you or them. It's just this place isn't for everybody. Like, not everybody can handle this area.
Right.
And that's some of the truest words I've ever heard. Like, it's true. Not everybody can handle this area. Like, I see it gobble up people and send them back to their hometowns more often than you believe. And Diving's asking how so. This place is just, I have a theory on it. This place is called the Waccamaw area. And Waccamaw, in the original Wachisaw language, in like the original Indian language, means place of great sorrow. And I really believe that like gets into people. I think that this place depresses people. I think that it puts a strain on their soul and on their well-being and on their mentality, and not everybody is able to handle that. And I think that's why so many people. Here turn to there, and you know this, Zach. There's so many people with substance abuse issues in this area, or alcoholism, or just whatever it is. There's a lot of folks with a lot of vices that live here, and I believe that's one of the few ways to deal with it.
I feel like part of that too. Now, okay, so I say I would take Myrtle Beach back in a heartbeat. Now, dude, for the longest time after I moved up here, I hated Ohio so bad. I needed Myrtle Beach back. That was how I felt. I was like, this is what I need it. But now looking back, though, I think if I moved back, I'd want to live in like Conway or Carolina Forest or something like that, more along the lines, rather than living in downtown. And part of that is because the depression, like you're talking about, and part of the depression comes from the fact that, like, you work for these places that's in the heart of a tourist town.
Yeah,
it's a flat out tourist town, so they are making so much money, but yet you're working for a minimum wage that was raised back in 2000. Yeah, it was shit. It's been raised since 1994, but you're still working for that minimum wage for 1993.
Exactly. You get to see a lot of people make a lot of money, and you're not amongst those people. I'm part Native American too, Divin. I'm part Cherokee, which you can't probably tell by anything other than my flowing locks.
But like there's that, and the fact of like, you see all these people making this money, and you don't have a chance unless, you know what I mean, unless you know somebody.
Yeah.
But you don't have a chance, and so you're making $5-6 an hour, $8 an hour probably realistically. So you can make $8 an hour. In 1994, that was a lot of money. Now, $8 an hour, you can't buy a burger from McDonald's for that. You
exactly.
know what I mean? But yet you want to try to get an apartment. You want to try to do something. It's going to be like $600-700 a month, and that doesn't include anything.
Yeah.
Maybe some basic cable, and you're like, I don't need basic cable to live.
Right.
Why don't you include some water or something?
Well, you are rapping at the door of something huge right there, because the cost of living has gone up by, I'm going to just say a hypothetical number here. The cost of living has gone up, I would say, 300 to 400% in the last 25 to 30 years.
Yep.
Yet, national minimum wage has only gone up by what do you think, like 50%, 50-60%?
Yeah, I mean,
so the cost of living has just,
and Myrtle Beach is a breeding ground for minimum wage.
Oh, 100%. Because you know why? Because there's somebody here that will do your job if you don't do it.
Yeah. I mean, but and a lot of it, like I said, with it being a tourist town, like there's a lot of like the T-shirt shops
Yeah.
Where they're making Myrtle Beach T-shirts, and that's all it says. It's just Myrtle Beach across the chest of it. They're probably paying $3 per shirt for that, but they're selling them for $25, $30 a shirt, and you're making minimum wage or less.
Yeah.
And then, you know, and then when winter comes, you're out of a job.
And a lot of people don't understand that too. Like, this is definitely a 6 months out of the year spot. Like, we were talking a while ago, man, like being a musician this time of year. And I was actually having this conversation with somebody earlier about finances and stuff. Like, this year, like I didn't really run out of money to like stay up on my bills and life and such until like March, which is huge for me. Like, being able to make it through November, December, January, February, and...
Oh, yeah. That's tough to do, especially for a musician.
Yeah. But, yeah, I was talking to somebody about that earlier and was like, it's funny, like, I did really, really good this winter as far as, like, saving up enough or preparing at least a little bit for the winter coming and to stay up without, you know, owing a lot of people anything, and like, I've done that so far on up until March. Like I'm still pretty much squared away for February, but when we get to March is a big question mark. But the season's about to pick back up, and I'm going to be so busy making money I won't have time to spend it. Yeah. And I know that that's happening, so I'm not worried about it. But dude, it's so hard for so many, and I'm one of those people. It took me over a decade of living in Myrtle Beach before I realized that you can't do the same shit every night. You can't go out. You can't go out and party, and you can't do this stuff every night, because if you do, that's where all of your money is going to go.
Yep. Well, and at the same time, I mean, when you get to the winter months, you know, what else is there really to do in Myrtle Beach, in the Myrtle Beach area? You know what I mean? I mean, unless you're a homebody, which is me now.
Same here, buddy.
But I mean, I enjoy it though. I mean, I drink beer. I don't do, you know, I ain't nothing like I was back in the day, you know. But but
that's good, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm proud of you for that.
I totally got a hold on it now. But yeah, I mean, really, especially especially for musicians, what else is there to do during the wintertime?
Nothing.
If you want to do something, it's bar or a restaurant that has a bar in it.
Exactly.
You know, like,
and that's if you don't want to go get a regular job like normal people, which true musicians don't like to do that.
But at the same time, though, on top of that, how hard is it to get a real job in Myrtle Beach that is year round?
Oh yeah.
Everything is seasonal, you know what I mean? Everything is a t-shirt shop or, you know, some kind of touristy thing. And between, you know, October and March, you know, you're gonna be lucky if you can get picked up somewhere for Christmas.
Exactly. That's the thing, and because that's the only time that it gets busy down here is around the holidays.
Yeah.
But man, I don't even know. I think about it sometimes and get anxiety thinking about. Do you do that? Do you think about what directions your life could have gone, and just get anxiety thinking about, like, oh shit, what if I did this instead of this?
Oh yeah,
dude, I'll be like, what if I started waiting tables back in the day when my roommate told me that I would be the best server ever? He's like, dude, with your personality, you would make so much money. Like, what if I decided to do that instead of like waiting it out until I got that open mic that I started hosting?
No, you're absolutely right, man. I mean, that stuff comes across to me quite a bit. You know what I mean? It's always, for me, people always told me that I should have been doing music back when I was focusing on trying to get one of those part-time jobs. Yeah. But I was like, I gotta do whatever, you know what I mean? And I wouldn't focus on it. But now, granted, obviously, music is hit or miss.
Yes.
Or you're in the right place at the right time. That sort of thing. So that's kind of why it ain't got nothing to do with money now, but that's why I'm doing those live feeds now. Like, because I do, like, where I live now is not a tourist town.
Yeah.
There's not a demand for music. I mean, there's a few bars around here, and they have music, but this town would remind you of Loris. So I mean, Everybody here knows everybody. So if they have somebody playing at their bar, the owner of that bar has probably known that guitar player for 25 years.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to get a spot by just being like, hey, I play guitar, I played in bands in Myrtle Beach.
I don't know, you work for Dewey Cox.
Well,
I'll play a little guitar.
I'll play a little guitar,
I agree, Depth. It's a good place to stay out of trouble, and everybody should start a YouTube channel. You should start a YouTube channel, Zachary.
I keep thinking about it, but I have a YouTube channel, but it's not. I posted like 3 songs of me and Daryl playing on there, and that's about it. You
start it back up. You should start it back up, man. I can link you up on this one and get you started with a few watchers.
I might could do that. I mean, I guess, you know what? I mean, I guess there's probably got to be some way I could record the live shows that I do, right?
Yeah, well, I tell you what I do is you can use your live shows. You can start your live shows and like share that link to Facebook and like funnel everybody from Facebook into YouTube. And I know that takes a lot. You've already got a lot of listeners, and I'm not saying to abandon your Facebook thing. Like 100% completely do that. Like definitely start 100%. And I'm replying to Diving, by the way. 100% start a YouTube channel.
I'm reading too.
Yeah, yeah, 100% do that. And I never really got the hang of it. I just kind of like am still feeling my way through. But I feel like if you keep that mentality about it, then you'll constantly progress. Like if you're always learning, like you never have it figured out, then you'll constantly progress with it. And do that. Do your Facebook thing, but I do Facebook Live things sometimes to try to pull people to my YouTube page to try to build my subscription base, because my end game is to build my listener base or watcher base or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. To
get out whatever message I'm trying to get out. Which do we even know what it is yet? I don't think I know what it is yet, but that's our end goal. But either way, I believe you should start one and keep doing your Facebook thing. Just like for those of you who want to hear more of this stuff, and honestly, not to knock Facebook, but you play a lot of stuff on Facebook. Like you'll share things, and you do a lot more to that video. And when you go to try to go back to that video, it's like you have to scroll pretty far. I don't know if Facebook banks all of your live videos in a specific spot. But YouTube is just a really clean place to put all of your videos. Just do that. I'll link you up on link up your page at the end of this episode so that people can click it. Post.
Definitely. I mean, and that's where I can't believe I'm looking now. Oh, it told me I wasn't subscribed to you, but then I've just realized that I'm not signed in.
Oh yeah.
So I'm like, wait a minute.
No, that's all good.
Yeah, I mean, and actually, supposedly, I keep getting told about the YouTube thing too for the jingles, and I don't.
Yeah.
That's a little strange to me, but I mean, I could definitely do it.
Dude, post those with just the picture of whatever logo of the company that they're for or something, or their videos. Like, post the Surfwater video. I'm sure Adam or Stoney will give you the go ahead to publish that to your page. You created it.
Oh yeah. Well, dude, what's funny, man? Stoney loves that jingle, which I mean, I'm glad
he was proud of it. He pulled his phone out and was like, listen. He was like stoked, like, here, listen to this shit. I was like, that's good, Stoney.
You know what's funny, man? I posted the wrong copy on Facebook of that jingle, and it like there's no guitar solo on it. The mix is all wrong, and I told Adam that I was like, "Dude, I posted the wrong one." And
shit, it sounded good. It sounded good.
Well, yeah, it sounded good, but I told him I was like, I posted the wrong one, and he's like, because Stoney was very like, he's like, the music is too loud while you're talking. You need to mix it down.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I was like, okay, you know, whatever. And I got the final mix, but then I made the video and I posted it. And I was like, I told Adam, I was like, I posted the wrong one. Shit, dude. You know, and he's like, I thought I noticed it was, you know, a little wrong or whatever. And I was like, wait a minute, I'll post the right one. So I posted the right one. I was like, I did the wrong mix, you know, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Here's the right one. And everybody still keeps sharing the old one.
Dude, it sounded good either way.
I don't want to delete the old one though, because at this point I think I have like
no, keep the one you've got the most hits on for sure.
I was gonna say I think I've got I think I have like 1.5 thousand views on the first one.
Yeah,
so
fuck like, yeah. Don't delete that by no means.
Yeah,
don't delete that. Keep your shit. That's the thing. Like I've noticed that even mistakes. When you're like, oh shit, this is gonna be awful, and I think about that every time I hear Ram Jam's Black Betty. You know, you know the part I'm talking about too, right?
Oh yeah.
When they're like, oh no, they're gonna know that we just snipped this and
yep.
They're gonna know that we just copied this and pasted it right here, and then the producer's probably like, yeah, they're not gonna care, and you know what? We really don't care. We still love that fucking song every time it comes on.
That's right.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah,
no, it was good, man. You did good. Anybody who's anyone is on YouTube, dude. I think that I was underutilizing the YouTube platform for a really long time, and I've noticed that through people like Jamie and Aaron. Aaron's doing a lot of cool. Do you remember Aaron, right? I don't know if I want to use first and last, but she's a personality. But our friend.
She Aaron.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, Aaron. Yeah, so she's doing really well with the Instagram and YouTube stuff, and I was like wondering like at what point we were talking the other day, and I was wondering at what point she was like, have they tried to monetize you yet? And I was like, yeah, they've sent me the email. I've been approved. I was approved in the YouTube Partner Program, which is like basically like your go ahead for monetization once you reach a certain platform, which is like I have to get 1,000 subscribers and like 4,000 watch hours. But ever since I've been releasing content guaranteed twice a week over the last year, and like we've gotten up to like I'm having like 30 to 40,000 watch minutes a month, like in a 28-day period. So that's like really, really good for right now. And but I'm telling you this because I want you to get in as quick as you can, because it's. And I asked Jamie how long, and he started. And Diving, you may know this too. I'm pretty sure that Jamie is only on his like 3rd year. I think he just started like 2 years ago. He just had his 2-year anniversary on YouTube, and he's just in releasing consistent content that's been doing well. And I think he's up to like 50,000 subscribers right now, and that's really, really, really cool.
Jamie is?
Jamie, yeah, he's got like 47.
Not that I don't mean anything bad by that. But
no, you know, Jamie. I mean, yeah, Jamie is, and he's very consistent and very loyal to his listeners and watchers, and I mean, he's very on top of his shit, very professional about this, and.
So, what is his stuff about? I mean, I love Jamie. I've known Jamie since I was 15 years old.
Yeah,
so.
he's doing. He's uncovered a lot of the pedophilia in Hollywood stuff.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and we've talked about that before, I think, on Sunset Grill when you were on that. But yeah, he's uncovered a lot of that stuff recently, and he is also the person who found the, and I'm pretty sure that I can say this. He's the person who found the link between the Corey Haim and Corey Feldman molester.
Shit.
They left a few breadcrumbs and he put them together. So he's very good with stuff like that, and is put him in a spot where he gets a lot of information from a lot of folks, and that's really cool. And I'm stoked he's doing well for himself. And let's say one of us made it, you know. And
yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I want to, and I don't want to say something so cheap as in get in on that, but I want to get in on that. I want to have a group of people to talk to, like, and I feel like I have a lot of things to say. And I think on one of the talks that we did, you were like, you feel like you've been put here for a reason. You feel like there's something that you were supposed to do. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah, dude. I've been feeling that since I was 5 years old. I know we talked about it.
Yeah. So like, and I feel that. I feel that I was put here for a reason. I feel like I was put here to say something, or to do something, or to be something, or to be somebody, or whatever. Insert whatever. And. Yeah. You know, I feel like that this is one step closer to getting to that. And I want you to get in on this. Which you already are. You already are.
It's funny, man. Like, I mean, I guess back when I was younger, you know what I mean? You always, you know, well, I say you always, but I used to think I was weird for this. But, you know, back in the day, like, you know, when I was a kid, I would always imagine, like, I don't want to say that I would be on a soapbox, but I would get, like, the opportunity to, like, you know, speak in front of huge group of people. And I've looked at it recently, and I'm like, well, I guess if you make a post on Facebook, or, you know, any sort of social Twitter,
that's a soapbox.
That's roughly, like I said, and I don't mean a soapbox necessarily, but you know what I mean, like soapbox. That's, you know, that's looked at as somebody standing there and, you know, whatever. But I'm like, that's not necessarily what I'm thinking. I'm just more or less, I always had these thoughts of like looking, I don't know if you'd say from it doesn't even have to be a podium, but just looking and being like, so have you ever thought about this?
Yes.
Blah, 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 you know, and then, you know, and then have people like, you know.
Yeah, having
like
a platform and an audience.
Yeah. Like, almost like, I mean, just kind of, and it would be my own thoughts, obviously, but, you know, kind of almost like whatever logic I may think I have to a particular subject, you know, I don't know. Like I said, you know, as a kid, you know, you used to imagine, like, you know, that sort of situation, but now, I mean, with Facebook and with social media in general, you know, that's kind of what it is, except for you're not just physically standing there in front of.
Yeah, and I think that helps a lot too, especially for people with public speaking issues. Like I was telling the diving in the other YouTubers the other day. I was like, I really feel like I have an issue with being in large crowds and being around large groups of people. But this fixes that. I want to speak to large groups of people and I want to communicate with them. I just physically would rather be alone, you know, like physically I would rather be by myself.
That's fine. Yeah, I completely feel that. I'm slightly different in the sense that it's funny, man. I remember playing. You know, well, I'm going to bring up the beat holes here, but I remember playing beat hole shows at the Lazy Eye. Dude, I remember playing beat hole shows at the Lazy Eye, and there would be 5 people there. And, dude, I would be so nervous. I couldn't jump. I couldn't move. I was just standing there like, you know, singing. Like, you know, I felt like a dork. But, dude, we played the House of Blues one time for one of those Myrtle Beach Rocks things.
Yeah.
And I think they ended up calculating that there was 590 something people there or something like that. But dude, I stood there and like I got up on the stage, we walked out and we did. There was just this sea of people. And I couldn't see anybody's face staring at me. I could if I would have focused.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like the lights were in my face, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's just this sea of people there. Dude, I felt completely at home. Like that was the moment where I felt like I could just let go, and it was on. I felt comfortable. It was because, like I said, like when we played the show at the Lazy Eye, and there was 5 people there. I could see all 5 of their faces. There was like at least 3 of them that were bored. They didn't want to. They were only there because the other 2 people dragged them.
Yeah, that would bother me.
You know what I mean?
100%.
But if you go to play somewhere on like a decent, you know, and you could play it on a stage that's 2 feet high.
Yeah.
But if there's 30 people standing there in front of you, that's better than having 2 people sitting in a chair in front of you.
100%.
Like, you know,
if anybody in the crowd, especially in the smaller the number of crowd members, and you take one person who isn't enjoying themselves, that's a high percentage of the room if it's a small amount of people. And
right.
if you
and
multiply
the like you can see them.
Yeah. 100%. I couldn't deal with that either. I have an issue usually, and there's a couple of gigs that I do through the wintertime that are like, I could literally go out into this room and play to nobody. Like I could go out into this little spot and literally play to nobody.
Yeah.
Like there would be nobody in this room, but they still like, they're like, and I'll feel bad. I'll be like, guys, I don't want to take any money from you, like, because like I know that, and they're like, no, don't worry, you just practice. If you want to, you don't have to play. And I was like, they want you there just in case somebody does, walk into the room, and
or maybe you might bring somebody who will come back another time.
Exactly. And what's funny is that at those gigs, I'll have a couple of tables that come out, and if it's just me and a couple people, me, like I'm like, hey guys, how you doing? What you guys want to hear?
Yeah.
And I'll start a conversation with them, like, and it's, I don't know, it ends up turning out to be a really good thing a lot of the time. Like I'll build relationships or make friends or whatever, or either creep somebody out, which is, win-win for me.
Yeah.
Either if I could creep somebody out or make a friend, then okay, I've won.
Well, the funny thing for me is, man, see, now I have anxiety playing, especially by myself.
Yeah.
I have anxiety playing in front of a crowd because, and this is going to sound so funny, but I played with you, so therefore we know, like, what songs I know.
Yeah.
And I know songs that everybody knows. And I could roll them all day long. I could keep a crowd happy.
Absolutely.
But as soon as somebody comes up and asks, and I don't say that arrogantly, I just mean I know songs that people know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as soon as somebody comes up and asks for a song, 9.9 times out of 10, I have no idea how to play that song. I couldn't even fake my way through it. I remember the first time I played by myself like that. I'm playing, I'm jamming these tunes and people are loving this. These people come up and they're like, "Can you play U2?" And I was like, "Shit!" I was like, out of all the songs I know, I don't even know how to play one U2 song. Or somebody's like, "Can you play Pink Floyd?" And I'm like, "No." Shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's always like I throw out U2 and Pink Floyd, but like I remember the first time somebody came up to me and was like, "Can you play Margaritaville?" I was like, "Absolutely not."
I say the same thing. I say absolutely not.
And I know how to play it now, but you know what I mean?
Oh, I don't.
Like I do now because me and Adam played so much, and people asked, dude, I think that was the song. Someone dropped $100 bill in our tip jar one time, and I think we half-assed it the whole way through. But
$10 for a cake. I have time, mate.
I mean? Like I know how to do it now, but it was just funny though. Like I played, but me and Tammy went to this guy, her boss's house, this nice house. Now it turns out now I'm playing his birthday party, but in August. But like I'm playing, and he asked me, he's like, what do you know how to play? And I'm like, well, I threw a couple songs at him, and he's like, wow, I haven't thought about this song in years, blah blah blah. This song's great, whatever. And he's like, can you play Motley Crue? And I'm like, shit.
Sir, this is going to be nothing but a good time for either of us.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm like, damn it. He's like, can you play The Who? And I'm like, damn it.
Oh, The Who. I love The Who.
But there's like so much, like I know so many songs that I guess could make people happy, but at the same time, there's a lot of songs that people request that I don't know at all. What's even weirder, man, I don't know if you ever come across this. Do you ever have anybody ask for a song and you're like, no, I can't do it right now, and then you think to yourself, you're like, I should know that one, so I'm going to go look it up. And you go and listen to it and you're like, I have never heard the verse of this song in my life.
I've had it happen to the point to where if it's like a song that people, like a popular song that I hear a lot, not necessarily even a popular song, and if you play for long enough, you'll have those songs that people request, and you're like, dude, I really should know this song, but then you go to listen to it, and you're like, oh shit, like, and then I thought I knew this song, but then you hear like this 2-second clip from the bridge, and you're like, oh, I recognize that part, and they're like, oh, seriously, the part I remember from this song is 2 seconds in the bridge that doesn't repeat itself in the song.
Man, well, I don't know.
That happens a lot.
For me. Like, there was one song, me and Tammy we were out to dinner or whatever, and "Take Me Home Tonight," Eddie Money.
Ooh, so treat me right.
So, I love that song. I absolutely love that song. So Eddie Money, and I'm like, all right, Tammy, I'm going to record like a pop punk version of this, and you're going to do the girl part on it. And she's like, okay, that sounds perfect. So I'm like, all right. So we get home, and I look it up, and I'm like, I'm going to learn this. And I go to listen to it, and I'm like, I don't think I've ever heard the verses of this song in my life. I know the chorus of this song, and I know like the part that leads up to it. I know the bridge that leads up to the chorus. Yeah. But I go to listen to the verse, and I'm like, I have no idea what's happening right now.
That happened to me recently with "Dancing in the Moonlight." Do you?
Yes. Like, that song.
Yeah, dancing in the moonlight. But it's like, we get it almost every night. And then it's like, what is this? This song sounds awesome. Like, how have I never heard this? And then it gets to the chorus, and then it's like, this is Dancing in the Moonlight? What the fuck?
Man, I'm gonna tell you, the first time, and I don't know if you how well you know this song, but the first time it ever happened to me was I had somebody ask for "Little Black Backpack."
Oh man,
9.
Yeah.
And I love that song.
Say why not?
Dude, I'm telling you, I can take you all the way from the beginning of the chorus to the very end of it. Want to talk about it.
Say why not?
Don't want to think about it.
Say there's God.
But, dude, go back. I don't know how well you know that song, but go back and listen to the verses, dude. The verses,
different tempo and everything. It's like
it doesn't even fit. It seems like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, the verses are almost like a 3/4, like.
Yeah. And it's kind of off a little bit, Like, I mean, it's. But dude, that was the first song I noticed that happened. I was like, I've never heard the verses of this song in my life. I'm just always like, the chorus caught my ear, and I'm like, I love this song. And then it was done, and I'm like,
yeah.
The chorus comes on again. I'm like, don't want to talk about it.
Love this band. This song's playing again.
Yeah.
I know, man. That's the same thing that happens to me. I'll get to a point where I'm listening to a song, and I have heard it so many times that I felt like I was listening to the wrong part of the song. This happened to me recently with "Under Pressure," and
Under Pressure.
Yeah, where you you listen to "Under Pressure," and you think about Under Pressure and you remember Under Pressure, and then it's like you don't remember anything else except for Under Pressure. But you don't remember anything else on the song, and I was like, but no, there's verses and there's a chorus and there's like so much other shit that I just missed from this song. And I didn't realize it until I was watching an episode of The Magicians, which it comes on Sci-Fi. You'd like that show, by the way. It's magic, and they reference Harry Potter a lot. It's called The Magicians. Also, I just to do this podcast, I stopped this show on Netflix called The Order that just dropped today. Dude, The Order, it's so fucking good. And YouTube chat, if you're out there, The Order on Netflix is awesome, and I encourage you to watch it. But anyway,
hey, can I pause you for just a second?
Yeah.
I got to take a pee break just for a second.
Go for it.
We don't really do those in podcasts. But...
No, go for it. Go for it. By all means, I can appease the crowd until you get back. So here's something that I forgot to say earlier that I was going to say. You see my face twice in this. You see it once in the bottom left of the screen. I don't know my right from my left. It takes me a minute to figure it out. So you'll see my face down here, and you'll also see it over here in the FaceTime chat. And I could have gone full screen like we usually do with Seth on this one, but I wanted to make it easier on Zach, and FaceTime is the best route, and I can do FaceTime on the computer here, so we're cool with that. So from everything that I can tell, I mean,
this is just bad reception, honey.
Respect for hairy ass.
What's that?
What's that? Eugene Levy coming through. I built like a 3-thing soundboard for American Pie. How funny is that? Anyway, so yeah, watching these couple shows on Netflix, you should totally check out The Order, and you should totally check out The Magicians. The Magicians are on Netflix as well. I think all of the seasons are on there now. And also, if the good Lord has laid it upon your heart at all to donate to the cause, I have linked up the GoFundMe in the chat here, so click it and drop something. Appreciate everybody who's done that so far. I know Rick dropped something in earlier, and I appreciate that from him for sure. And also, I'm going to be putting a link up in the chat for Zachary's jingles page. And I can't remember exactly what he calls it, but he'll be back in a second and he can clarify that for us. But anywho, I paused this thing on Netflix, and now it's, you know how when you pause something for long enough on Netflix, it starts rotating through things you should watch. And I'm seeing all the stuff that I've seen before, like this Ali Wong, Hard Knock Wife. Have you seen that before, Zach? Stand-up comedy, Ali Wong?
No, I haven't seen that.
What's up, Cat?
By the way, Marty's popping in.
We got to get out of here, Marty. What's up, Cat?
What are you doing?
Cat's bigger than you,
See
man.
how big he is?
Yeah.
That's almost as big as mine.
The people that are listening on audio right now have no idea what's going on. Like, why is this dumbass meowing into the microphone? We have Large Marge in the house. This cat's like, look at my ass.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was saying about the Magicians. I didn't notice how Under Pressure is actually a really, really good story in that song, and it is one of my favorites. And I believe that Under Pressure might have snuck in to the number 3 spot of my favorite songs of all time. And
oh
yeah, dude, like just knowing that there's so much in this song that you recognize so much because of the Vanilla Ice ripoff. And then you hear something different than the Vanilla Ice song, and like, wow, this is better.
Yeah.
And then you don't realize why it's better, and you don't understand that there's so much more that's going into this. Like,
yeah.
The whole, like, turn away from it all like a blind man. I sat on the fence, but it don't work. That song has so much wisdom in it. You sat on the fence, but it don't work. Like, seriously, you can try to sit on the fence, but it don't work. Anyway, that's the point I was trying to get at, is with Under Pressure, is just like, you don't notice all of the bullshit that's in it until one day you do see it, and it's like then you can't unsee it. Is that how it is with you, or do you find it just hard to, like, even with Little Black Backpack? Like, do you hear the verses now just because of that little sway when he comes out of that tempo and goes like?
Well, the funny thing for that, like, that's the only song. That's the only one that messes me up, because I go back and listen to that one, and I'm still like, how did you guys record this one? Like, you guys just kind of went off on your own thing here.
Yeah.
Or, like, did you record the verses, and then they're like, hey, dude, let's cut this chorus for this other song and post it, and, you know. Like, that's the only one that doesn't fit. But the other ones, though, like any of the other songs, like I said, the Take Me Home Tonight, and I'm embarrassed by this. Like I said, like, I love that song. I have always loved that song. The fucking girl part on there.
Yeah.
Dude, I chills almost every single time. But when I finally went to go look it up and I heard the verses, I was like, I have never heard this before in my life. But now it all fits.
Oh, yeah.
It goes smoothly. That Little Black Backpack messes me up.
Dude, well, the Beatles did that. Because, like, A Day in the Life, Ed Dennis told me the other day. We've been playing a lot with Ed lately. Mm-hmm. And Ed told me the other day, you know, those were two different songs, and they just put them together. And they were like, they couldn't figure out a way to mix them together. And it was like, well, how about we just do this big orchestra crescendo all the way up to the one chord, and then that's how one song gets to the other. And they did it again in well, not so in a grand of a manner, but with my favorite Beatles song, "We Can Work It Out." Do you remember that one?
Yeah.
Try to see it my way, and this life is very short. There's no time.
That's the song.
Fussing and fighting, my friend. Waltz, da da, boom, bum, bum. It just and how do they do that live? Yeah. Like, you just have everybody has to be on the same page.
Yeah, you know what, dude? They inspired a lot of people with that, man. Hell, punk bands I know, like, inspired. Like, I learned from the punk bands, and I found out where they learned it from, like, and then where they learned it from. But
yeah.
It all kind of goes back, basically, like you said, to the Beatles. You know what I mean? Like, but I did that a bit. Like, you know, you write a part, and you're like, this is cool, and then you can't come up with anything for it, and then you write another song later on, and you're like, you know, it'd be kind of cool. That piece would fit in there. You know, like.
Oh yeah. I've done that several times, like reading through, like, I'm bad about writing a verse in a chorus and walking away, or writing a verse and walking away, or a line and walking away. And then, like, and I'm so bad about not wanting to Frankenstein these things. Like, I want them to stay their own piece.
Yeah.
But I could probably have a lot of halfway decent songs if I could take all those pieces and just shove them together.
Well, the one thing that sucks, though, man, I have this one chorus that I wrote, probably 2012, and it's one of my favorite choruses that I've ever written, but I can't come up with anything else to go with it at all. Like, I keep thinking to myself, I'm like, should this be the verse or should it be the chorus? And then one day I sat down with it, and I had the day off. I spent all day on it, and I wrote. I decided this part was going to be the chorus, and I wrote these verses around it. And I look back on it like 2 weeks later, and I'm like, this song is terrible. The chorus is good, but this song is horrible.
What was it that was bad? What was it you didn't like?
It didn't fit. Like, the chorus is like, I mean, okay. I don't know if this is going to make any sense. It might make sense to you. The chorus could have been an Eagles song. It could have been a Leonard Skinner song. It could have been a Steve Miller Band song. You know what I mean? Like, any of these bands could have done it. Or it could have even been a bluegrass. Like, it could have, you know what I mean? Like, but I couldn't figure out what to do with the rest of it. So when I sat down with it, the only thing I could come up with was very Leonard Skinner. It was very Gimme 3 Steps.
Yeah.
And when I went back to it, I was just like, it works, but it doesn't feel right.
Now, do you write with your guitar or without?
With. Now, okay, so I write with the guitar, but I'll come up with a melody, and then I'll be at work without the guitar and be like, you know, I already had the melody in my head.
Yeah.
With the guitar. So, but I mean, obviously there's been times, you know, I come up with a melody in my head and I have to come home and figure out on the guitar what it is.
That's how I work.
And that happens sometimes for me. The only problem I've ever had with that is that I had the chord progression in my head.
Yeah.
What's going to go with this vocal melody that I have. Then I get home and the chord progression that I have is way off, and then I have trouble finding.
I hear you.
Where it's supposed to go, if that makes any sense.
See, I do this thing where I'll write a line, and when I write in my head, it's always I'm reading it spoken, like a spoken word. Like I don't hear any melody, I don't hear any of that at all. And then I'll write that, and then I'll match the syllables in the like A B or whatever, or sometimes I'll do A B. Yeah. Like I'll rhyme 3 lines and then do something different. But I never put a melody to it to start with, and I'll like sort of let the cadence tell me how it wants to go, and then like the guitar is the last thing that I pick up. But
I've known some people that write that way. I mean, and you know what? Hey, there's you, for instance. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that write fantastic stuff that way. For me, if I ever try to do that, I tried once. This girl gave me a half of a poem that she was working on. This was back in high school, so it was my early days, but and I've had similar situations since then. But this girl handed me a poem, and she was like, you know, I have these couple verses or whatever. And I was like, let me write something to it. You know what I mean? I was new to writing music. I was like, let me do something with it. And then I went back and I wrote the rest of the poem. But when I went to go put it to music, I could not make it fit. I had to rewrite almost everything because nothing fit the way that it needed to. I still ended up writing the same story.
Yeah.
But it was all like the wording was completely different than where it had started.
Yeah, I hear you. Now, do you do like I imagine like if you're using a guitar, like in the way that I use syllables, is that how you use the guitar? Like you measure it to make sure that it'll fit?
Exactly. Like I'll have a melody in my head.
Yeah.
And in fact, with that chorus that I had that I was just telling you about that I never ended up finishing, that I was just goofing on the guitar one day, and I heard that I had this melody in my head, and then I started just throwing any word on it that would fit.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it didn't make any sense at all, you know, but it just, it fit the melody. So I was like, okay. And there was only one line, I guess, that came out of it that I was like, I could do something with this, you know.
Yeah.
And then I kind of went from there, and I ended up, like I said, I ended up going with do you know Jeremy that plays the One Bad Apple sometimes? Younger guy, curly hair. He plays bass for him whenever he plays bass or banjo whenever he's playing with them.
Maybe.
Anyway, we were sitting at the beach, and I showed it to him. I had about 2 or 3 lines, you know, for the chorus or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I showed it to him, and he came up with the next line or two, you know, and like I said, I was so proud of this chorus. I was like, I'm gonna write this epic Southern rock song, you know, whatever, and I never did anything with it. I tried.
Oh man, keep going. It ain't done.
It's still there. It's still in here. Like I got it. It's
yeah.
Just, I can't for the life of me figure out where to go with it.
I feel I hit a lot of dead ends like that, but then at that point, anytime I hit a dead end, I don't think too much on it. I just realize I'm just like, I look at songs like sometimes, and me and Jamie talked about this the other day. Sometimes, like you being a songwriter, you just so happen to be the one that reaches up and grabs this thing as it's floating through. Like it could have been anybody. Anybody, but you just so happen to be the one that grabbed this thing out of the air and put it down on paper. Like it could have gone to any writer.
Yeah.
But you got it. So after I started looking at it like that and realizing that I'm really not the one writing these things, like I'm physically writing them.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I'm not the one behind. Like there's something that's trying to get out, and this song is using a way to do it. And I'm like, if the song doesn't write itself, pretty much,
yeah,
I'll feel okay with walking away from it, because like maybe it's just not my song. Maybe it's not. Maybe I was trying too hard, and maybe somebody else has already picked that one up and it's already popular and it's already written. You know, you never know. But
maybe a band that you've never heard of is already like doing it.
Yeah, maybe a band, exactly, but maybe somebody else just grabbed it. Maybe that's why it's not happening for you, because it's, you know, it's like the Elder Wand. Maybe Draco. Maybe we're Draco. Maybe the Elder Wand is not supposed to be ours.
That's right.
There's some Harry Potter knowledge for you, folks.
Hey, you're absolutely right, dude. That's the best way to think about it. I mean, because like I said, if you try too hard, the song sounds forced.
Yes.
And it doesn't fit. You know what I mean? Obviously, there will be people out there that would like it, but
absolutely. There's people out there that like anything. And
when I wrote to that chorus, it sounded good.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fine. But I was just like, nah, it's not. I don't get the feel that I would.
Yes.
When I've written a song in its entirety in a couple hours or something.
Yeah. Well, there's one thing that's for certain, and that is, if there's anybody that's going to hate a song you wrote, it's probably going to be you.
Right.
Like, and I feel the same way. Like, if there's anybody that's gonna hate a song that I wrote, what are you doing, this cat?
He's got. You see how matted he is, or how long his hair is.
No.
He gets matted pretty easy in the wintertime.
Oh.
We don't trim him down too bad.
It's like, what did he do? Is he in trouble? Breaking out scissors and shit. But yeah, I really enjoy talking about songwriting and talking about creating these things, because there's not a lot of folks that you can talk like straight up writing with who's actually got experience with writing, and I know that you do. I know that you're not somebody who's just bullshitting me, because you've written and you know what it's like. And I really, even though we have different methods of doing so, it's still the same end game. But man, I feel I have so many things that I want to say in music, but I get so damn distracted in the middle of writing it, and like I don't know, I'll like I said earlier, I'll play it off as like maybe it's not my song, maybe I'm not the one that's supposed to write this one, and I'll just let that be. But then I feel like I've got like, but shit, this is a really, really, really fucking good block of words right here that I just don't want to throw away. I don't want it to go away forever, but I mean, I don't think it's complete, but fuck, it's great. What am I going to do with this? I have so much of those sitting around in my iPhone's notes, man.
Dude, that's
so many.
Man. I do that a lot, man. I mean, I write pieces of something, and then I don't. And a lot of times, like I said, too, I mean, everybody has to work, whatever. But I mean, it sucks, because, I'll be on roll, and I'll be feeling it, and I'm like, I've got this, so I'm gonna have a kick-ass song. And I look like, God, I gotta be up in 6 hours. You know what I mean? I'm like, shit, I have to go to bed. I have no other choice right now. So then. And then when I try to come back to it, and then the next night, somebody be over here at the house, and, when I come home from work, so I can't really work on it then that much, interview company, whatever. And then, by the time I get a chance to get back to it, the motivation's gone.
I feel the same way, man. Like, you go back and you're trying to write something where you felt you were capturing it so perfectly because of how you were emotionally at that point. And maybe
Yes.
you go and you do things other things in your life, and you come back and you're not emotionally the same person that you were when you wrote it, and you can't relate. So then it's a completely different person that's holding the phone.
Yeah.
Dude, I get that too, man.
I mean, that's a huge thing. I mean, you can come back too and be like, man, this verse is awesome.
Yeah.
I love this verse. I'm ready to move on it. You know, when you come back to it, but you're like, it's gone. The feeling's gone. Like, this sounds awesome, but I don't have that feeling anymore. I don't know where to go.
Yeah. I feel the same way, man. I got that after because I wrote so much when I was depressed and so much when I was sad. And I wrote the most back then. And just that was my way of getting this shit out. So I went back and I had so many little blocks of shit that not blocks of shit, but I had so many blocks of lyrics that I had written, and I couldn't relate because I was like, man, I'm just not there anymore. I'm just not sad anymore like that. I'm not where this person was. Yeah, the moment's gone. I didn't grab it. Just like I said, if you don't grab it, they're gone. If you don't grab it when it's there, it's just gone.
Yeah. Dude, have you seen the trailer? You mentioned the Beatles earlier, and we're talking about songwriting, which this isn't necessarily.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have, and I can't fucking wait.
That fucking movie.
Dude, what if that were you? What if you were that guy?
Oh my God, what?
What if you were that guy? You were the only person who knows, and obviously they tease it. Paul and Ringo have to show up.
Yeah. It has to happen.
Barefooted and in shoes. Okay, so I totally hijacked what you were going to say because I knew what you were going to say. But explain to the watchers what this movie is, since I totally fucked this right there.
I mean, dude, this movie, man. I went to Bradley sent me the trailer, and when I first saw it, I saw it Yesterdays or whatever. That's what it's called, right? Yesterdays.
I think it's called something like that.
No, Yesterday was the first song he was playing in the trailer. But yeah, he goes to start playing it, man. And they're like, "That's amazing. When did you write that?" And he's like,
"I didn't write it.
I didn't." It's it was John, Paul, George. They're like, "Who? What?"
Wait a minute, the what?
Yeah, dude. I'm telling you, that movie, that movie looks like one of the most intense dreams that any musician could ever have. Dude. I don't care if you're not a Beatles fan. What?
Absolutely. If you wake up and there's a part in that where she says, "But you're the greatest songwriter of all time." What if you wake up and you have an entire catalog of the greatest Beatles? Here's the thing. How far did this guy's Beatle wisdom go? Did he have everything? Did he just have the hits?
I mean, but think about, what though, I took this a little, I took it a little far, thinking, because you have to think about it. This is something, this is, like I said, far out thinking it, but different people have different styles. That guy was in the movie. That guy is nailing Beatles songs.
Yeah, he is.
Voice and everything, he's nailing it all. But imagine if it was, I don't know. I mean, hypothetically speaking, imagine if it was Joey Ramone that this happened to. His voice wouldn't fit that. But imagine if somebody else woke up and the Ramones had never existed, but this one person knew the Ramones catalog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Different styles thinking,
Exactly.
Grateful Dead, you know what I mean? Imagine if you fucking woke up
Jesus.
and the Grateful Dead had never fucking existed, and all of a sudden you play fucking Touch of Grey, you know what I mean? And everybody's like...
What's funny, I just thought of Scott Mann. Then Scott Mann couldn't bust my balls for singing the wrong lyrics. Because he wouldn't know them either.
But But you know what I mean, though. I mean, imagine that happening to anybody imagine that happening to anybody in their element.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, let's face it. Let's imagine if that ever happened to me with
Green Day. Yeah. Exactly. If Green Day never existed, you have the time?
I'd be the runner-up. You know what I mean? But I mean, dude, imagine that for any musician to have like an opportunity like that. Like that would be insane.
Oh yeah, 100% it would be.
But the Beatles, yes, they picked the right band to do that movie about.
Oh Jesus, God.
Even when Ed Sheeran at the end is like, "You should name this song Hey Dude," which,
hey,
by the way,
dude.
is a reference to another band. If you didn't know, have you, dude? Have you ever heard of the band Beatallica?
Beatallica? No.
Dude, okay. Homework for tonight.
Do they? Let me just guess. Is this a band that does Beatles songs but like Metallica would?
No.
Okay.
They mix Metallica and Beatles song Beatles. Yeah. Yeah. They drop, little plug there. No, they mix Metallica and Beatles songs. So you have Blackened the USSR. There is literally there's a song called Hey Dude. You have I'm trying to think of some of the oh my god, I can't think of the rest.
I'm gonna do some homework and listen to this later for sure,
dude. So here's what it is. It's Metallica and Beatles song, God, keep doing that, man.
You get a pass for you've been saying probably Beatles more often than Beatles in your day.
So Metallica and Beatles songs mixed. The band, like the songs are very, it's really, if you listen to Blackened the USSR, I don't know what your Metallica knowledge is, but I mean,
I know a little.
It's like Black Album and before, and they mix it. Like if you listen to Blackened the USSR, it is the exact like mix of what you would do with the song Blackened and Back in the USSR. But the guy sounds, the band sounds 100% exactly like Metallica. And when I say that, trust me when I tell you, you're not going to be able to tell that this guy is not James Hetfield.
Oh, man, that's great.
Dude, Hey Dude is one of the greatest things that I've ever heard in my life. It comes in, and it sounds like Nothing Else Matters.
Yeah.
So you hear the boom, doom, 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 and then when that normal like lead
blah,
come
blah, blah, blah.
But dude, well this lead goes boom, 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 ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-dum. It's dude. So then it comes in, dude, and it's the Lars drums, like
Nah.
And this guy he just goes, hey dude, don't be so bad. And they mix the lyrics and everything. He's like, take a thrash song and make it better, whoa. Like, it's fucking hilarious, dude. But as funny as it is, you can listen to it, dude, and you can't. I mean, like I said, it's hilarious. It's so funny, but you have, like, when you listen to it, you can't deny the talent that these guys put into these songs, man. It's
well, hilarious. The balls that these guys have to record Beatles music like Metallica.
Dude.
Watermelons.
The fuck, and dude, as soon as I heard Ed Sheeran be like, you should name this song Hey Dude, I'm like, they did that on purpose. They've heard Beatallica before. It's the funniest thing I've ever heard, dude. But really, like I said, the band sounds 100% legit like Metallica.
Yeah.
James Hetfield, Lars Ulrich, all of them, dude. But it's a perfect mix. Like you'll hear some of these songs and you're like, this is easily a Beatles song, but they're singing like thrash words to it, but it mixes up. It's hilarious. So you gotta check it out.
I'm actually kind of stoked to listen to that.
Dude, I'm telling you.
I'm gonna sneak that song in between the end of this podcast and the beginning of the last 2 episodes of this random ass show that I started and will have binged in a day.
I'm telling you, dude. There was a friend of mine who was huge. Like this guy always looked like James Hetfield. Like he was such a Metallica fan, but he also he grew up with his parents being Beatles fans. And when he came to me with this, I was like, "This is the greatest thing I've ever heard in my life."
It sounds pretty fucking awesome.
I really do. Like I said, there's Sergeant Pepper's and the death rock band or death metal band, something. I don't know. It's
now I have heard the reggae versions of all of these bands, the Easy Dub All Star versions of all these. Have you ever listened to? You listen to reggae Easy Dub All Stars ever?
I mean, I've listened to them a bit. Yeah,
they're the ones that did Dub Side of the Moon.
Yeah,
and Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Dub Band.
Oh yeah.
Dude, they and I'm not a big reggae fan, but I really enjoyed that. The Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Dub Band, where they just the album from front to back is recreated but reggae. And Dub Side of the Moon is a fucking hell of an album too. By the way, you said earlier about Pink Floyd that you don't know any Pink Floyd tunes. You could get Wish You Were Here pretty good.
I know how to play little pieces of them. But it's just it's when somebody comes up and they're like, "Hey, can you play Comfortably Numb?" And I'm like, "I love that song, but no,
yeah,
I've never tried to."
Comfortably Numb's pretty fucking easy too, but there's a couple of shifty things in the chorus, but otherwise it's pretty straightforward, dude. I spent a lot of time listening to Pink Floyd, man. Like a lot of time in front of a Pink Floyd albums, dude. They're
in the Wall. I've probably seen The Wall 25, 35 times,
dude. Same. It's definitely, if it weren't for the Beatles, the Pink Floyd would be my favorite band by far. If it weren't for the Beatles. Pink Floyd's a very, very close second. It's the Beatles and Pink Floyd, and then 80 Feet of Nothing before you get to Death Cab, you know? yeah. But
see, that's how I am with the Beach Boys. Now, I love that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not playing the Beatles down at all.
Oh yeah.
I was a Beach Boys guy though, and
no, that's fine. You don't have to like my favorite band as much as I do. I'm not one of those.
No, I just mean the Beatles, Beach Boys, rivalry, whatever, But the Beach Boys was kind of Pet Sounds. I'm like, how are you gonna top that album? But then
I got that on vinyl. I got an original release of that on vinyl.
Dude, what?
I have an original Pet Sounds.
Oh, I thought you said you had a digital release on vinyl. I'm like, what does that mean?
Nah, an original release on vinyl, like. Man,
I thought I got one of those. Man, Bradley, if I'm not mistaken, dude, Bradley found an original Pet Sounds in a Goodwill for $4.
Yeah, dude.
Bradley's got that. Dude, Bradley's got that talent, dude. He got an original copy of Purple Rain on vinyl for $3 at a Goodwill or a
Me and Bradley talked about records a little bit, but we only did that one show together, and we needed to cover. But dude, yeah, he's got a pretty good head on his shoulders for music.
Oh yeah, dude. Bradley knows what's up.
He posted some Dwight Yoakam vinyl the other day that he got, I think.
Bradley gets it. I'm seriously now up here in Ohio, we have a lot of antique malls. So
a lot of records.
I can find a lot of good records at a lot of those places.
Do you have a record set up?
Not really. I have one of those little Victrola things.
That's a setup. Yeah.
But I mean, the records I have, I probably have about maybe 20 records, and they've all been warped because I didn't take care of them.
Oh,
because
man.
I'm an idiot. You know what I mean? But like, I want to start it back up. I got
a lot of doubles of some good records I can give you.
Dude, yeah. Hey, any help? Because I have something now where I can keep them in. You know what I mean? To keep them, but originally, my dumb ass, I wasn't thinking about how cold it gets in Ohio, and then I was leaving my records like close to the heater vent.
Yeah.
So they're all warped.
Oh man. Yeah, no, I have a lot of Beatles. I got a lot of like doubles of Beatles records. Like every time, and there was a point there that every time somebody saw me, they were giving me a stack of records, and I got a lot of, dude. I've probably got shit. What's that? I've probably got 250, 300 records, maybe.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I got a lot of fucking vinyl, and I've got about 158 tracks, man.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, dude, you can watch some of my other videos, some of my other YouTube videos of the podcast when I've got the camera wide enough to catch my record cabinet over here. There's the whole top row is full of 8 tracks, and that's the first row. There's two rows of 8 tracks that I've got. I've got like Styx. I got the Beatles red and blue albums. I got Abbey Road.
Yeah, I have red and blue. I think I have red and blue on vinyl.
I got those on vinyl and 8 track.
Nice. Dude, that was something. We went. There's like a spot around here. It's called Amish Country.
Yeah.
And we go out there and
woodworking, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, dude, it's really a cool spot to go to. The only thing, man, is like I guess they know it's like a tourist thing. So like you go out there and you can eat at these places and stay at these hotels, and you go and you get to see like the Amish culture and stuff like that. And these people are like sitting in like these antique stores. It's not a mall. It's not huge. But dude, these motherfuckers don't want to talk to you at all. They have no desire to talk to you.
They're about their own business. But dude, I could watch, and obviously there's no video of it on YouTube because they're Amish. But I could watch Amish people do hand carving woodworking for hours.
Dude, it's really a cool thing.
I love that
once.
shit.
We want to go again, but we haven't had a chance to. Man, it's a very... Now, like I said, I mean, it's kind of touristy a little bit. Like, you go there and, you know, they have, like, country-style restaurants and Amish-style whatever, this and that. But, you know, you got to drive out a little bit farther to actually see it, dude. But it's a very, very cool culture, man. Yeah,
I wouldn't actually mind learning from an Amish person, like learning woodworking from an Amish person, or like or a Japanese woodworker. Like I'd love to study under somebody because they all work with their hands and there's no electricity. Even their drills are like they're holding it in like their crank drills, basically. Like
exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's funny. Like if you would look back like 30, imagine what. And I guess, I don't know, maybe it's because I was the baby of my family, but, like, if you could go back 30, 40 years and hang out with, you know, your grandfather, who would have been your grandfather at that time.
Yeah.
Dude, that shit's cool as hell, man. Like, my great-grandma, she had an outhouse.
Yeah.
And, you know what I mean? And, like, now she ended up, like, I don't know, a few years before I was born, she ended up getting indoor plumbing, but the outhouse was still there.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
She still used the outhouse because the plumbing was weird for her. You know.
My granddad talked about that, and he was like, when they finally got indoor plumbing, he was like, his granddad wouldn't let him, like, shit in the house because it's like, you do that outside. Like, you ain't supposed to do that inside.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that you don't do that in the house. Like they didn't have a room in the house set up for it, if I'm not mistaken, where she actually had the indoor plumbing like put in. There was never a door put into that. Like, the actual door. It was just like a stall almost with no door, you know. It was weird, man.
Yeah, that is weird.
It's cool though, looking at the old culture like that and seeing the way they used to do things. That stuff is so cool, man.
Yeah, it is. So we've already passed the 2-hour point, but if you have it's a little bit longer, there's one more thing that I wanted to ask you about, and I've asked Scott Mann about it yesterday, and I wanted to get your take on it. Have you watched the Michael Jackson documentary yet?
No, I haven't. Wait a minute. What are you talking about? Is it on Netflix or something?
No, it's on HBO, but it came in 2 parts, and it's basically a documentary about these two guys who were molested by Michael Jackson, and they're doing a documentary about it. And here's the thing. When I first heard that there was a documentary by these 2 guys who were molested by Michael Jackson, my thoughts were, why show up this late? He's already dead. Why bring this out? Why do this now? What's up with this situation? I don't know how to feel about it. Blah, blah, blah. Then I watched the documentary, dude. I don't think there's any doubt at all that he had a lot of weird shit going on with a lot of kids.
It made you a believer?
Yes, it did. And the one thing that honestly, I believed in it before I turned it on. And you want to know why? Because when I went to the guide on HBO to click on this thing, it said Oprah Winfrey presents Leaving Neverland. That alone, I was like, oh shit, Oprah's sponsoring this shit, then there must be something up.
You got it. Okay.
Before you answer, I want to make clear to the watchers and people who listen, which are called listeners, by the way, to the listeners, that Oprah Winfrey's career was started by Quincy Jones. Quincy Jones started Oprah Winfrey's career. He was the person who kickstarted her career. Quincy Jones was also very involved in Michael Jackson's life.
Yeah.
Quincy Jones was Michael Jackson was probably one of Quincy Jones' proteges, right?
Yep.
They did a lot of things musically together. And the only reason I said
Ray Charles, but yeah.
Yeah, the only reason I wanted to make that known before you gave your answer was just to show that Quincy Jones started Oprah Winfrey's career. He was very involved in Michael Jackson's career as well. And the fact that Oprah Winfrey is presenting this when they are part of the same circle leads me to believe that she also knew that there was something going on, which is why she is so adamant about producing this film now. Now, sorry that I cut you off there, but I just wanted to say that before we went any further.
Now that you say that Oprah Winfrey's involved, I have a lot of thoughts about the Michael Jackson theories. The whole thing with that, I don't like. It's hard to explain. For me, I don't want to say that he didn't do it because I don't know. First off, let's face it, nobody was there. None of us were there. So how we can't say anything. Now, any of us onlookers or anybody who's listening or hearing the stories about this stuff, we weren't there, we don't know. But I guess the point that I ever try to make is, man, really in the way I look at it, like I said, I'm not going to say he didn't do it, but there are people out there that they really are just good people, nice people.
Yeah.
But nobody believes it because they're like, nobody's that good, nobody's that nice. And it's like, well, there are people out there that way. You know, just because they're nice or because they're weird doesn't mean that they're bad.
Exactly.
And, I don't know. I mean, now, like I said, as I'm admitting, now I don't have HBO, so I don't have the ability to watch this right now. I'm sure I will in the next month or so. But with Oprah,
yeah.
But that's still even kind of somewhat of a touchy subject for me, because Oprah's for the people.
Yes.
Right? So, and she always wants to expose, like, let's face it, she wants to expose the truth.
I agree.
But again, and I mean, and I'm not taking sides one way or the other, but was Oprah in the house?
I 100% agree with you. I know nobody was there. Nobody knows exactly what went on. The only thing I will say,
I could sit here and tell you about the experience I have with Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah, for sure. And I'll know. We'll have this conversation again after you watch the documentary, just because there is so much, and it's a 2-part documentary. Dude, there is so much creepy shit that just. I cut it off. The first time I tried to watch it, I cut it off because I was like, dude, this is just too much.
Well, I mean, I guess. See, okay, so here's 2 points I'm gonna make. Number 1, I mean, I have my beliefs on the fact as an outsider that was not in the room. Number 2. I hate to say this, kind of hate to say this. If it turns out that he did do it, if Billie Jean comes on the radio, I'm still going to turn that motherfucker up.
See, I don't know that. And I don't think there's a lot of radio stations. Like, I think this thing is like dethroning Michael Jackson. Like, it's coming out that the thing that's making this thing stick is that in 1993 he was the first time that it was alleged that he was, he had something going on with a child, and it kept coming up throughout his entire career. And there was apparently a maid who testified that she had seen Michael Jackson naked in the shower with one of the boys who ended up making this movie, and that he said no, it wasn't true. Back in the day, he was like, no, it wasn't true. And like, he didn't realize until he was a grown up that, oh shit, this stuff that he did to me was wrong. And like, Michael Jackson might have looked at himself as like a 9-year-old child. He really may have looked at himself like that, but he obviously wasn't. And I'm serious. I know that with not having HBO, there's still probably a way that we can arrange for you to watch it.
Yeah, I can find. Yeah, well, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I think Tammy's daughter is going to get HBO Now soon or something.
Yeah, HBO Go is or HBO Now is the same deal.
That's it. Yeah,
it's same deal. And I mean, it's really inexpensive. I think it's only like $12 a month. I think it's the same thing as Netflix. But dude, yeah. Watch that shit.
I'd like to check it out. If there's something that could possibly convince me, then I'd be interested in seeing it. But I mean, more or less, and this is probably going to be the stupidest thing I've ever said in the history of my life.
Uh-oh.
Trust me, it's coming. But literally, like, as you said, maybe Michael Jackson saw himself as a 9-year-old kid or whatever, but I mean, now if he had sex with these kids, okay. Fuck this guy.
Yeah.
What on that? It's hard to explain. It's hard to explain how I'm thinking about this. Like, in the sense that, like, if literally they were just like goofing, whatever. I get it. He's naked. That's fucked up. That shouldn't happen. Whatever. But a dad, it's not weird when a dad's naked with his kid. I know that Michael Jackson's not his dad.
Yeah.
I get it, but what I mean is, like, if I don't know, man. Maybe I should shut up before I get, like.
Yeah, I will say this though. In the documentary, these guys do say that he 100% like penetrated them.
Well, now, I mean, like I said, if there's that, I mean, if there was something dirty happening, if it was, you know, if there's nastiness going on, the only reason, and I'm not trying to defend him, but if he was just weird, and people were like, dude, that's weird. He's doing whatever, you know, it's like, you know what, there's weird people out there, doesn't mean they're bad.
Yeah, that boy's just a little off.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I
mean,
that's, you know, there's weird people out there. I mean, I'm weird, you know, hell, I'm lucky I found Tammy, because every other girl I went to, they're like, no guy is like that. And, you know, I'm like, because I opened the door for you? Because, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. I'm fucking weird, that's why I'm single.
And I know it's not the same thing, but you know, understand it, like, it's just, you know, I have, like, you know, I had that old school mentality, you know what I mean? And people are like, you know, they don't want to, they think either I'm fake or that, you know, whatever, you know, but, so that's the only reason, now, like I said, I will flat out, I will take anything that you give me from about the Michael Jackson situation.
Oh, yeah.
I will take it, and I'll, with an open mind, and I will flat out, you know, if you show me something, hey, that's it. My biggest thing, though, is...
It's all people's words.
It's people's words, but at the same time, I mean, like, if you would have had one person say that, everybody else would have been like, yeah, well, he is weird. So, I mean, come on, why wouldn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
You know...
And I feel also, too, that I don't know what the financial situation is for these guys, but I know that they made this movie at their own pocket, like on their own dime, basically. Like other than Oprah, I'm sure had a lot to do with it. I mean, but they made this movie not looking for any money. They just wanted to tell their story.
Yeah. And
the Michael Jackson's estate is suing HBO to take this movie down.
Well, I mean, either way, you know, it's slander on
yeah,
on the king of fucking pop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, and I'm not even trying to like credit his music on that, but I mean the title though, the king of pop. You know.
Oh yeah. I was just watching this thing like, fuck, am I gonna have to throw away Thriller now? Like, fuck.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
Am I gonna have to throw away this record?
You know?
And I've said it several times. Like, among this record collection, there are Michael Jackson. There are a few Bill Cosby vinyls. There's a few Bill Cosby stand-ups that I have that I have these, and I'm like, do I throw this away? Do I not? What do I do with this? Like, I mean, obviously I can't listen to a Bill Cosby vinyl and feel good about myself anymore knowing that he literally raped so many fucking women. And...
Well, okay, so...
And I feel the same way about Michael Jackson, man. I just like... Ever since I've seen this fucking I've seen, and I say this, and I say this knowing that I've seen something that you have not, and I may have information that you don't possess, and hence why I'm looking at it a little bit differently. And I said the same thing about Ryan Adams. Ryan Adams just got, and it was one girl who said, yeah, he sent me inappropriate messages, and then several other girls started stepping out like, shit, he did that to me too. I thought it was just me. And like the other girls, yeah, fuck, same here. I thought it was me. I thought it was just me. And like now I'm like, fuck, now I can't do any Ryan Adams music because Ryan Adams is one of my favorite songwriters ever. Ryan, not Brian, by the way.
No, I know what you mean, yeah.
I'm like, shit, now I'm just like erasing songs off of my set list. And damn, I was pretty proud of the way I used to play fucking Thriller. Can't do that shit no more. I used to fucking slay Thriller and Billie Jean.
That's such a touchy subject for me, and I guess, I don't know, maybe I'm a little, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not as it. No, shit. I can't think of the word I'm looking for. Like, I think about this stuff. I really do. But, I mean, like, Thriller, the song Thriller, had absolutely nothing to do with whatever he was doing to Neverland.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I get that. But it's still the same artist. And that's what people say is you shouldn't punish the work of art because of the artist.
I'm not saying I don't want to pay him anymore. Well, I mean, obviously Michael Jackson's dead, but you know what I mean. But like,
yeah,
I'm not saying I want to support him, but at the same time, I mean, dude, I can't. If Thriller comes on, I can't. I'm gonna hear the same sound I heard when it came on the You know what I mean? Like, I mean, but and as you mentioned, Bill Cosby. You know, Bill Cosby, like whatever the fuck, even though he admitted to it, I know how fucked up that dude was.
Yeah.
But, dude, if I walk through a living room and somebody's watching the Cosby Show and one of his fucking goofy jokes happens, that joke itself was funny.
That's how I feel about these comedy records. Like, I'm like, I'll listen to like one of my favorite stand-ups of all time, and one of the funniest pieces of stand-up is Bill Cosby himself. And anytime I think about that, I'm like, it still is one of my favorite stand-ups of all time. And he said 2 curse words in the entire show. And like I'm just somebody who was so wholesome in the public eye, who was literally just such a fucking horrible person after all was said and done.
Yeah.
Which makes it so much easier to me. The same with OJ, man. OJ was such a wholesome personality. Yeah. In the world, in the public eye, and I'm like, man, it just makes it so easy to believe. And fuck Ryan Adams, Ryan motherfucking sweetheart songwriter of the world Adams, who wrote some of the most heartfelt like love songs and heartbreak songs of all time. Like, how can you? That pretty much is what I'm saying. Is like, shit, nobody is safe. Nobody is outside of the.
This is going to be a weird question.
Okay.
This is not necessarily the same thing, but it's something shitty that happened with someone that everybody loved. Robin Williams.
Yes.
So Robin Williams did what he did to himself, you know, and that's horrible.
Yeah,
absolutely terrible.
I got a Robin Williams vinyl too,
dude. Is anytime you ever see anything like is anything you ever see from Robin Williams always just going to always be associated with suicide?
Well, honestly, for me, probably just because Robin Williams was, I think, bar none, my favorite stand-up comedian. And
comedian in general.
Yeah, he was my favorite comedian in general. I have a Robin Williams reality, What a Concept, on vinyl. And every time I see how happy he is, I can't help but know how sad he was in the end. And that really breaks my heart. And I'll still, and in the same breath, like Robin Williams did this thing, and the worst act that he committed was against himself, because he literally loved those around him so much. He wanted to make them happy, and that's why he was so funny. He knew what sadness was, and he never wanted anybody else to feel that. And I remember you saying Robin Williams. I remember the moment that I found out. Like, a couple people came to my gig and were like, "Have you heard? Have you heard what has happened?" And I just fucking started crying in the middle of Biscuit down in fucking Pawleys Island. Yeah. I'll always associate that with that, but.
And I know it's not the same thing. I know that suicide's not the same thing as whatever, you know, what.
Yeah.
Bill Cosby did and all that stuff, but I mean, like, if you go back and watch a season of Mork and Mindy, you could think about it, you know what I mean? But you're not watching I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking about it in the wrong sense, but
no, I get what you mean. We can't associate the crime with the work of art.
Exactly.
And yeah, I get that, but I just, for me, this crime is too great, and just like
you're right.
And for something and now I will say this, like, I do know that people will one day I'll turn on Aladdin and I'll see the genie pop out and it'll just be Robin Williams, and I won't think about the sadness. I'll just think about how great he was. By the way, they better put some motherfucking respect on Will Smith in a heartbeat if he thinks he's gonna step out and try to top Robin Williams on this thing, man. Because damn.
I'm gonna throw it at Will Smith though. Like, I don't think I don't think in any sort of way he's attempting to top it. I think he's trying to show respect. I think he's.
Oh, yeah, look, I believe this. I believe that as well.
I'm gonna do what I can do. You know what I mean? I'm Will Smith. I'm not. I think because Will Smith, let's face it, he's roughly the same character in everything he's ever done. Besides, except for. Well, no, even in iRobot,
he was that.
Yeah, but it doesn't. What the little tiny clip that I saw, it looks to me like he's like, I'm doing this genie my way. I'm not trying to be.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Robin Williams. So this is my genie, you know. And look, I'm kind of excited about it a little bit.
Oh, I'm excited as well. Like, I love the new resurgence of Disney movies that are going to be coming out soon. Like, we're going to have the Genie remake is coming out, the Aladdin remake is coming out, the Lion King remake is coming out.
Yep.
And there's some other remake that's going to be happening soon.
Did you see that Little Mermaid? It's on Netflix now. Like, I haven't watched it yet, but I looked it up before it came out, though. Or, like, right before it came out on Netflix. It's not Ariel. It's not the same story. It has absolutely nothing to do with the Disney version. It's just a whole new movie.
Well, if it's still on Netflix, obviously Disney doesn't have anything to do with it.
Literally, like, I mean, dude, I think it was in the theaters for like a month, and then it was on Netflix instantly.
Yeah, that's not a good sign for the movie.
No, not at all.
So,
check it out, but I'm like, I don't really know because
now you being as big.
Dumbo's coming.
Dumbo, that's the one. That's right. That is the third one. That's right. Shit, Dumbo.
That shit looks insane.
Yeah, it does. That's gonna be so good. I love Danny DeVito.
Hell yeah, dude. Danny DeVito's the man.
Yeah. But you being a Disney head. So, you know, they took all of the Marvel stuff off of Netflix because it now belongs to the Disney universe, and Disney is releasing their own streaming network. Do you know that the entire Disney catalog is going to be on this thing? The entire Disney vault is going to be on this Disney network.
No, it's
everything,
so
bro.
Hard, man.
Everything.
It's so hard. Like, I have a lot of those, like, on, like, that I downloaded from torrents back in the day.
Yeah, same here.
But I'm like, man, to see them in, like, the full-fledged HD, like, remastered, redigitized, I'm like, I would love to watch Robin Hood in that format. You know what I mean?
No kidding. We barely made it out of there with our skin.
Yeah, that's right.
You're thinking about someone with some long eyelashes.
Long eyelash.
Hey, quick, you're burning the soup. Well, I tell you can't cook.
Well, that ain't it.
What did he say? He's like, oh, you're no bandit. You're a hero. They'll be writing stories about you. Hear that, pal? We've been pardoned.
Yeah. Did you? Yeah. Did you hear that, Little John? We just been
Yeah. How about that? We haven't even been arrested yet.
Oh shit,
Dude, Disney movies are my shit. Specifically Disney classic movies, and not all of them.
Drawn animated ones.
Ollie Johnston and Milton Call are those old school artists. Dude, I love like Sword in the Stone is my favorite one. That's my favorite one.
Well, Robin Hood's always been my favorite one, but The Sword in the Stone was one that it was a favorite of mine because I rarely saw it.
Yeah,
they rarely showed it on TV.
It was a B-sider.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like there was Snow White, Cinderella, blah blah blah, all that. But Sword in the Stone.
And I didn't really give a two shits about those. The Disney princess ones was not. I mean, I was a true boy growing up. I only liked the ones that had boy heroes.
I have to admit, like The Little Mermaid was probably one of my favorite ones back in the day. Dude, I was in love with Ariel. Like she was my dream girl. And then, funny enough, I married a redhead. So
Hey-o, winning.
But yeah, dude. That last little section. What's funny though? There was The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, Aladdin. I didn't see Beauty and the Beast for the first time until about 5 years ago.
I still haven't seen it in my adult life. Like it's been so long that I don't even remember anything about it. The references,
I never ever saw it as a kid, and it was one of, like I said, you know what I mean? Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Lion King. That was like the bunch at the time. Never saw Beauty and the Beast until about 5 years ago. It's a good movie. I mean,
yeah.
And I never saw the one with Emma Watson. I never did.
Me neither, man. I feel like I can't watch the one with Emma Watson until I watch the original again, and I just don't. Yeah. And it's not, like I said, I wasn't a big Disney princess guy, and like I just didn't care for those as much. And nothing against the ladies. I love you. I promise I do, ladies. But, yeah, it just wasn't my thing. But, dude.
My mom had those. So I obviously had, like, Cinderella and all that shit. My mom, you know what I mean? My mom was, like, keeping up on all the Disney stuff. So we had all those. But, yeah, when the Little Mermaid I saw in the theater, and I was like, I'm in love with this girl.
8 years old.
Hell
dude,
yeah.
I was 8 years old, I think, when it came out. I think that was 94, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, Jurassic Park I got in the theaters. I'm pretty sure I saw Home Alone in the theaters.
That would have been about, like, 90.
Actually, no, I don't think I saw Home Alone in the theaters. Maybe
Home Alone 2 I know I saw in the theater.
Because I'm pretty sure that the first thing I saw in the theaters was Jurassic Park. And that was 94. And I think Home Alone predates that. So I couldn't have seen that in the theaters, right?
I can honestly say that the very first movie, if I'm remembering correctly, the very first movie I ever saw in the theater was the Michael Keaton Batman.
Bro, that's the Batman. That's this Batman right here, yellow and black.
Right. That is the fucking Batman. That was, dude. And my brother was so annoyed. I was like 8 years old, something like that. 9 years old. My brother was so annoyed because I kept talking to him the whole time we were in the theater. But dude, that was one of the great. That, and then Terminator 2. I saw that.
Dude, Terminator 2, when I was a kid, I could fucking recite that movie. I had
Terminator. Recite that movie right now. I'd seen it so many times, dude. That movie is so fantastic. Even today.
I watched it. I swear to God, I just watched Terminator 2 no less than 2 months ago, and it still stands up. Except the version that I watched was some like extended version that had a lot of extra shit, and I was like, why? I want to watch the...
See, I love the extra parts that are in there. Like, that's cool to see. But no, I want to watch the...
one I remember.
Yeah.
The one I remember, like, I remember I used to fall asleep to that movie. I've always fell asleep to movies. I've always fallen asleep to TV, and I can't not do that. And that's probably another reason why I don't try to pursue a relationship or anything. Is I know that I'm just going to be like, turn that off. And I'm like,
Tammy and I sleep in different rooms.
Yeah. Like dude, listen, man, I wish that actually might be easy. That might be the deal. That might be the way to go.
Well, I snore too loud, apparently. So me and Tammy can't sleep in the same room. And then at the same time, like, she wants no light, no sound, no nothing. And I'm like, I have to have something on.
Yeah, like I can't, like you probably like me, your subconscious is too busy to let you fall asleep if it doesn't have something to focus on.
Right. Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah, if I don't have any kind of sound, my brain just goes too much.
Yeah, it's too much. Like if it's silence, my brain doesn't stop. Like if it's silence, my brain has to accommodate for the sound that is always going on. Yeah. Now, the only time that is okay is after a gig on the way home when I'm driving. Like I can listen to no radio, I can listen to silence. Whenever I walk into the house after a gig, I can be in silence for a couple hours before I turn the TV on. But when I'm trying to sleep, I got to have something fucking...
Something, yeah.
Yeah. Right now, it's a Ken Burns baseball documentary.
I used to turn on CDs, man, and try to imagine like playing on the big stage.
Yeah. Same here. And then that's when the repeat option finally came out and you didn't have to fuck with it. It would just be on all night.
Yeah, you didn't have to flip the cassette tape to play side B.
Yeah. Well, I remember having my VCR, the first VCR I got with a repeat option.
Oh, yeah. And
I would wake up every time that it would stop to rewind, but it would always start back playing again, but I would always fucking wake up. But anyway, we're scooting up on the 2 hour and 40-minute mark. And I know that it's been a really, really, really long talk, and it's getting to be the 2 o'clock in the morning, so I don't want to keep you from your life any longer.
Yeah, it's about time for me to get into bed. But
I hear you, man.
By the way, anybody who was listening to this, don't hate me for the things that I had to say.
Oh no, we'll put a disclosure at the beginning in the description that Zach wants you to not hate him for anything that he said. Yeah. I'll just make sure to make that clear. But anyway, yeah. So I tell you what. I'm gonna link up your pages in the chat, and I'll probably do so in the description as well. So if anybody needs any jingles and such, they can contact you at
Lookout Jingles at Facebook.com/lookoutjingles.
Yeah, Lookout Jingles. I was when you were taking a piss, I was trying to remember, and I couldn't remember the fucking name. Lookout Jingles. So, cool deal. Well, I'm gonna link up all your stuff in here, and I'm gonna go ahead and do an intro. But I'll let you get on to your get on with your evening. I know you got regular work in life to get to. I don't have that. I don't work tomorrow till 6 o'clock p.m.
Well, man, we definitely got to do this again, man. The FaceTime thing's a lot better than that's way cooler than just talking on the phone.
I agree, and plus, since I figured out how to do the screen grab thing, it works for YouTube a little better. I think it looks better on the screen on YouTube. So
yeah,
cool deal. Absolutely, we'll do this again, man. Let's try to get together. Let's try to get together again next month and talk about some more things after you watch the Leaving Neverland.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm waiting to get HBO Now or Go or whatever it is. As soon as we get that, dude, I'll definitely check it out.
Do that. All right, homie. Well, it's always good to talk to you. Love you, buddy.
Same to you, man. Love you, dude.
All right, buddy. Later.
Later.
All right. Let's get on out of there, giant face. Okay. So, I don't know how much. Let's see. I don't know when this stopped recording, but I'm going to start back now. Anywho, so yes, Brother Zach came in to talk about all the good stuff, and I'm going to talk about all this in a minute in the intro anyway, so I'm just calming down. out of the outro. You get, does that make any sense? I'm just calming down out of the outro. We're just calming down into the outro. Listen to the music. It's playing now. All right. Anyway, so yeah, I'll let you go ahead and get along with your lives. I got to take a piss, so I'm gonna try to do the intro real quick and get out of here so I can go take a piss. But anyway, enjoy your day. Be good people. In a world full of shitty people, don't be those people. Be a good person. I love you. I mean it. Peace, bitches. Hang tight for just a second, YouTubers. Let's get this intro rolling. Hey, guys. How you living? You doing well? Good. Glad to hear that. In this episode, my buddy Zach FaceTimed me, and we went over all kinds of things, ranging from his work in jingles and how that differs from songwriting and writing actual songs, and how they're similar. And we talked about songwriting and all the quirky things go along with that. And then just a couple hours of rambling. We actually went pretty long in this one. This is like a 2.5 hour, or better, more than a 2.5 hour actually. So definitely listen to this one in blocks. And sorry for the length on it, but anyway, please go to the Facebook page. Please go to the Instagram and the Twitter at MI Stuff Podcast, at MI Stuff Podcast 1, the number 1 on Twitter, and at MI Stuff Podcast regular on Facebook and Instagram. So do that and share those pages. Also, please click the GoFundMe link that I have in the live chat of this YouTube video. And also, I will have this posted. It's a pinned tweet, I'm pretty sure, on my Twitter page. And I'm also pretty sure that it is on a pinned tweet on my Facebook, or pinned post on my Facebook page. And it's also linked up into the bio in the Instagram. So please click that and donate some dollars if the Lord's laid it on your heart and you feel good about it, or feel good about anything that we've got going on. Please donate some dollars to us and help us make this thing better for you. And I think that's all I got in the world of promoting. Please go to YouTube, click subscribe on the YouTube page. What else do we got? Sunday, we going live Sunday at 5 o'clock with Josh Gregory. He's going to be talking about his new ventures in life. And then Monday night, I'll be going live with Patrick Hanna and Alicia Brown. And we're going to be talking about capital punishment. And Joey Bellamy, my very good friend of mine, is going to be joining us for that talk as well. So be excited for that. And I'm talking fast because I got to piss. And I'm going to get out of here. So, yeah, that's all I got for you. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, episode number 111 of MI Stuff featuring Zach Williams. Enjoy, motherfuckers. All right, YouTubers, click the links at the bottom of the page that are not there right now. They will be soon. I love you. I mean it. Peace, bitches.